I was able to show you, I'm sure they probably did get it cheaper. I was like, remember that tar paper picture I showed you with the rain coming down and, you know, how good do you think their roof is doing later? But I did that without understanding the end goal of that statement. It's like I put the statement out there and the statement was what it was, but then I didn't do anything with it from there. It was like, oh, okay, yeah, well, again, at the same time, like I didn't finalize even what I was getting at there.
Right.
And so the keep it simple, stupid method for me is what I need to focus on now because I don't want to get myself into a more complex situation with my conversation than I'm new. You know, I need to understand.
When they come out, it's the price, you know, I got a price of half of whatever the case is, or they have bigger houses and stuff like that, and that's cheaper than what you are. Well, let me ask you, which one of these packages you think you were getting at that?
That's.
And ask them and let them tell you, probably closer to the builders.
Yeah.
I'd pull out that sheet that you did the cost versus value, like you're talking about, that checklist that they made. I'd flip it back over to guarantee and say, again, which one of these would you be willing to get up to get your price down close to that number? Well, nothing. Okay. And just be confident in it. You don't have to trap. Be confident in that price and just sit there on it. You don't have to jump around and be cool and calm and collective. And then at that point, you got the number out of them.
Yeah.
Okay, I got your time frame. So you're serious? You said you're going to know something in about a week. You're going to have all your shit figured out?
Yeah.
So you're serious about getting this done? Okay, well, because you're so serious about getting it done, we do have an optional promo right now going on. Some people like it, some people don't. Okay, but let me explain it to you first so you can see exactly what it is and why we offer it. All right, and then I go into my first time promo story.
Yeah, I'm dealing with the Foley. I don't know if you remember that one, Catherine Foley.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, I'm going there tomorrow. I've got it set up for 5 o'clock tomorrow. It's the one where it was sold too low. And we were talking about the window trims and shit. So I'm getting that figured out with like 5 different people.
All right, yeah, just tell Amanda up front or whatever what's going on so she can put it in the computer.
Okay.
And then I would roll into my first time promotion and go into the story and all of that stuff. You guys remember that? I went through it the other day.
Yeah, I fucking just bombed it, so.
Okay.
Bombed it.
So you got to practice. Yeah, I heard you go, oh, what the fuck, man? I can't remember how to do this story. All right, let me run through it.
Regulated by the Federal Trade Commission. We can only offer it on our first time with you. And then something. If we get caught, we got to pay everyone back a 10%, millions of dollars. We'll lose so much money.
See, I don't even get in a whole bunch of that detail. That's not telling me a story of why you're giving a discount.
Right.
Yes, you're hitting the back end of it all of why we can't come back and offer it and why it's kind of only good for today, but I don't understand where you're coming, why you're even offering it.
I'm good at
What any of
when,
the details are for.
once I already offer the first time promotion and then I'm going through my appointment, I'm good at the story where,
Advertising assistance.
yeah,
You can-
meshing the advertising assistance with it, you can double dip because if I leave, we're taking that 10% first time promo away. This will take its place. Since I'm here, you might as well double dip and get that 20%, you know what I'm saying?
But if they don't understand what that 10% first time promo is about,
Yeah, it doesn't work.
mean anything.
Yeah, it doesn't mean, it doesn't
Okay,
work.
this is gonna set up the groundwork for everything. For all of the rest of your discounting, it's gonna get them to basically shit or get off the pot and tell you one way or another what their true objection is. All right, so I've already broken them down. I went back into the survey. I pulled out the price from them. I need to bridge this gap of $4,000. Well, you're serious about getting this project done. So I'm at, what am I at, 17?
It's just easier.
17, and it's the $4,000 apart to get you closer to 13. We gotta bridge this gap. That's what we're looking to do, all right? Well, it sounds like you're serious about getting this project done. We have an optional promo. Let me explain it to you first so you understand what it's about. Some people really like it, some people don't. As a company, we have to schedule about 100 appointments a day to keep our entire sales staff busy.
Oh, yeah.
Out of the 100, okay, we may sit in front of, I don't know, 70 some odd people, okay, like yourselves, to go over the different products and all of that stuff, and then typically we'll sell half of those. Anywhere from 35 of them, 40 of them a day. It's pretty much a given. Okay, now there's not a problem with the people who are purchasing. Obviously, there's not a problem there. They're ready to get the project done. There's not a problem with the people who haven't purchased yet either. You know, they have to see if their loan goes through. Talk to their parents, their kids, or whatever their fucking situation is. I don't know. I don't really care. Okay. But the problem is when they get their loan, for instance, or they get their taxes back, I never know when they're really going to call me. I can't predict when. So what happens is in order to keep our sales guys, we have to schedule 100 appointments a day. So we got 100 appointments on the books for tomorrow. Now, all of a sudden, we got 27 people that we've seen throughout the past year, because we give out year pricing, that finally got all their shit together and they're ready to get the project done, and they call us up and say, all right, I'm ready to do it. Well, we schedule 100 appointments. 27 people call us back that we've seen the previous year, and we walk in the door on Tuesday morning, we have 127 appointments on the bank, on the books to cover. Okay, we can't cover all 127 of them. We don't physically have enough people. So what happens is we have a decision to make. Who do you see first? You got a customer on one hand who's got their check made out to rock solid, and then you got another customer who wants to get a quote that's good for a year. Okay, if you're in my shoes, Shannon, who are you gonna see first?
The person with the check.
Fucking every single time, right? Bird in the hand beats two in the bush. All right, and that's where we go. We take care of business. But what happens to the other guy who wanted to get a free quote?
Gets pissed off.
We can't be everywhere at once, right? So now we have to, make a phone call. All right. Hey man, I apologize, Mr. Jones. We overbooked today. We were a little light staffed with COVID, whatever the case is, blah, blah, blah. Is there any way we could push it back till tomorrow or next week? And believe it or not, most people are very understanding. Yeah, I get it, man. COVID's a bitch. We're kind of light staffed at work too. No problem. We'll reschedule it. Okay. But every once in a while, you think we might run into that guy?
Yes.
That guy who comes back and says, wait a minute, man, you called me up 2 or 3 times making sure that we were all going to be here. Both my wife and everybody was going to be here for this appointment and all that stuff. I missed my kid's ball game to be here for you. And now you're going to call me up and tell me you can't fucking make it? Are you serious? Fuck you. I'll find somebody else. There's a million of you guys out there. All right, click. You think that might happen every once in a while? Let's say on a low side, we lose 2 to 3 jobs a day. Because we just can't be everywhere at once and that guy is in there and he cancels. Well, our average job is $11,000. At 2 jobs a day, you spread that $11,000 at 2 jobs a day over a whole month, where we run 20 some odd days in that month, okay? You add that stuff up, we lose about $500,000 every single month. Because we just can't be at 2 places at once. Does that make sense? That's a hell of a lot of money. I mean, what would you do with $500,000?
Wouldn't be sitting
Pay
here.
my house off.
Probably wouldn't be getting a roof here, huh? Be buying a new one.
We've been
All right.
talking about those metal roof options.
Yeah, exactly, wouldn't we? All right. All right. Well, just like you, man, what can I do with all that extra money? Well, the owner looks at it the same too. Well, that's a lot of bonuses he could be throwing out. That's a lot of more research and development of the different materials. That's a lot of advertising we could do. That's a boatload of money. So he looks at it and says, hey, how can we recoup some of that and put it back into the company's pocket? You got any ideas? We're open for them. If you got a good idea.
Just sell it on the first day.
What we found out is where we don't have to keep coming back out and seeing customers we've already seen. All right. We don't run into this overbooking process because we're taking care of it at the first time because we don't have to come back out. Right. If we don't run into this overbooking process, we don't piss these people off. If we don't piss these people off, we don't lose this money. So what we've done is we've come up with this optional promo. Okay. You pull out your sheet and you show it to them. What it is a 10% first promotion discount for any of our customers who are in a position to take action with us on our initial visit today. I can save you an extra 10% off today because next week it's going to free us up to see those guys. And we don't run into that problem. We don't lose those customers. Does that make sense? Now you can accept it and you can refuse it. It's completely up to you. Okay, but it is optional. I wanted to explain it to you first. You understood what it's about and why we do it. So therefore you can determine whether you wanted to take advantage of it or not. Fair enough? So what it'll do is it'll bring your total price of the job to $15,300 or $185 a month.
Slide it and shut up.
Circle it, put your pen away, sit back, slide it in front of them and shut the fuck up. Okay, now they're gonna look at it and they're gonna come up with 2 things. You got the certificate out there that they have to accept or decline it. I gotta take that back into the office so the office can see that I actually offered it to you. Okay, I don't really get into the Federal Trade Commission unless I need to. All right, usually if I tell this story or whatever, and again, it's about this story like we talked about this morning. You have to explain where the money's coming from. You're allowing us to see more people, and because of that, we don't run into this. This is all on the low side. This is the honest to God truth, guys. Okay, tomorrow you're gonna have leads. If you have to come back and see the guy you went and saw yesterday, I can't give you all of the leads that I have available. It's gonna affect your bottom line. Okay, now I have to schedule you at the other side of town and stuff. Sometimes we have the Novi show and we got leads that are out in Novi, but then you have to come back over here to write up a guy that, or you have to go back to the Novi area next week to write up somebody, but all of our leads are now over here on the east side. So not only do you have to spend another hour and 15 minutes to get there, another hour and 15 minutes to get back, but I fill up that time slot for that one paperwork appointment for you to go, but now you lose 2 appointments because of the drive there and back. I mean, this is the honest to God truth, guys.
Yeah.
It's a legitimate discount, but you have to explain it. The way most people explain it was like, oh, well, if you buy today, I can save you more money.
Yeah, I was just about to
And
say,
the way that the customer looks at it, so you telling me if I call you tomorrow, my price goes up? You're fucked if that's how they look at it.
that's why I get scared using that discount. Because if you don't explain it right, you just fucked your entire
You
appointment.
have to practice it.
Yeah.
And I think I've told the story too, where I was with a new guy or whatever, and we were sitting down at the kitchen table, and the lady looked at me and she goes, "You're not gonna do what the other guy, give me a price and then tell me if I don't buy today, it's gonna go up tomorrow, are you?" And the new guy's kicking me under the table going, "What the fuck you gonna do now, Dave? That's your first discount." Right? That's how he explained it. He said, "Look, we gotta, for people who come up here, I can save you 10% today." Well, I gotta call you back. Well, you're gonna lose out on that. This price is only good for tomorrow or today. Okay, there was no story that went behind it. After I went through all of this, I had the customer coming to me going, "That's fucking brilliant. If I was in the same type of business that you got or something similar, I would run a similar promo. It makes so much sense. Time is money, right?" I'm like, "Exactly." That means she got it. She understood what I was talking about because it was the story. The last guy just said, "Hey, if you do something today, I'll save you 10%. And that's it. That's how our guys are explaining it. Okay, yeah, and then we piggyback it with the first time or the advertising assistance, and sometimes it has an impact. Okay, but how many times does this go right over their head because of how we explain it?
All the time.
You got to get them involved, get them to understand what's going on and make it make sense. And you're walking them through the whole. Now, but I do that during my pitch, as you see. I'm having fun with them. I'm asking all these questions, getting them involved. So when it comes to the close, and I'm doing the same thing, it makes sense. Same thing like I did with the advertising assistants when we were sitting in here with Steve and shit, and explaining to them, look, we get I can advertise in the Save On magazine. I can advertise on your street.
Yeah.
Which one's going to be more beneficial for you as the homeowner? Which one's going to be beneficial for me? Okay. At the end of the day, this is helping you out because you want to see if you can find our product to see if you can save some money. Well, this is going to be able to provide you our product at less money. Right? That's why you want to get your other estimates. So when we wrap it up and say, well, I'm going to do the shopping for you and help you take action with us today. This is what I'm doing because you're not sacrificing the quality. You know what is there. There's a chance if you have somebody else come out that you're not going to get the same type of quality, considering we're going platinum and we're only 5 locally. So there's a really good chance of that. But you're just trying to see if you could save some money. And then you've drawn the line in the sand. How much money are you looking to save? $4,000. That's your magic number. Well, I'm doing my first discount. I'm dropping them $1,700. Not the full 4. So now we're only $2,300 apart. This is what I'm going to focus in on now. We're $2,300 apart. I'm not going to focus on your $13,000 that you wanted to spend. That's a high ticket item. That's a lot of money. I don't want to keep reminding you of spending $13,000. You're already convinced yourself you're spending at least 13. I just got to convince you of spending an extra $2,300 now. A lot easier to deal with. It's only $45 difference a month.
You did that in your head?
No, I just made up.
Oh, I was going to say, you're smart.
Okay. But you'll have that, figure it out with the calculator. You're only discounting one of the products. You're not discounting the preferred and the platinum. But I've had you narrow down that the platinum is the only one that you want, price aside. You're only considering the other one is because of the fact that it's cheaper. Show the monthly payment. You told me that I'm probably going to be a cash buyer. I'm still going to show you that fucking monthly payment every time I discount it. Because you'll never know when he switched. Well, I got 10 grand to put down. Can I finance the difference? He's a cash buyer because he thinks that that's what he was anticipating was 10 grand. The minute you show him 15, 17 grand, he's going, oh, fuck, how am I going to come up with this difference? But they're not going to come back and ask you for that monthly payment again now. So always show it to them.
So the line of questioning that you're kind of feeding us as the customers right now is to bring out the truth behind the objective, I guess. So it's like, sure, just because somebody gives you an objective, right, that doesn't mean that's exactly what it is. Like the objective is like the start of the truth behind what's going on.
Yep.
Okay.
Because they don't want to tell you what's going on. They don't want to divulge their poker hand. So they're showing you their poker face. This is what's going on, and you got to basically look them in the eyes and say, "You're bullshit, man. I know you don't got aces."
So all that was my non-rude way of asking how he's paying cash ultimately in the end, because then if I could get that out of him, if he was to say, well, you know what, I do only have 10 grand cash today. I have, okay. Yep, I understand.
He hasn't seen your price.
Yeah.
So when you come in and you're asking, this is something you're planning on paying cash for, financing or whatever, in his mind, he's got 10 grand cash. It's not going to cost him over 10 grand. So he's telling you the whole time, I'm cash, I'm cash, I'm cash, I'm cash. When you open up at 17,000, he's going, oh fuck, where am I going to come up with I only saved 10 grand. Where am I going to come up with the rest of it?
Yeah.
But now, again, his ego is there. He doesn't want to just fucking tell you. He told you for 2 hours he's a cash buyer, that he's the fucking man. Now he's gonna come back and say he's a broke dick and doesn't have the money for it? No. Sounds good, everything looks great, you got a card? And he's sitting there going, holy fuck. I'm gonna have to pull from my 401k, I'm gonna have to do this or whatever. And typically you'll have the guy come out and go, whoa, okay, well, what if I put 10 grand down? What does that make my payment? Now you knew he was a cash buyer at the 10 grand. Yeah, you can put down as little or as much as you want. That's up to you. It's just gonna affect your payment. Okay? And then at that point, the guy still says no. Look, man, I like it, I appreciate it, but I'm not gonna be able to take advantage of it. I still need to have at least one more guy come out just so I have something to compare it to. No problem. Figured I'd offer it to you. No problem. Just write, check off the box, refuse, and autograph that for me so I can take it into the office. And you'll see them hesitate on that. They don't want to refuse a 10% discount and turn it down. Well, no, I'll call you back next week. And look, man, I'm not gonna be able to do anything about it. As I explained, the whole reasoning we're doing it is the fact that, it's to save time is money for us to keep coming back out. And then I might go into my Federal Trade Commission.
I'm not even.
But if it comes down to it, well, you can give this back to me next week. I mean, I'm sure you can honor that next week. Or we go, well, I only need a couple days. Look, man, if it were up to me, I'd give you a year. Unfortunately, it's not my call. We had a couple people the other day, a little while back, they were like, is this legit? Can you really offer this to people and everything else, a first time promo? And, we checked with the Federal Trade Commission and everything else. And they said, no, that's fine. You can offer it to people because it makes sense. I mean, while you're doing it, the part it becomes illegal is if you re-offer it to somebody in the long run afterwards, because that makes it completely bogus at that point. And they basically told us if you get caught re-offering it to somebody, they'll make us go back on our previous year's worth of customers and refund them back 10%. So for us to come back a couple days from now and try to sneak one in, it's not something the company is willing to risk. Is 10% of all of the business we did last year just to, save you a couple bucks next week. I mean, let me ask you this though. What's going to change between now and next week?
The weather, that's about it.
Okay, now I told them my story of why I can't re-offer it, just to hold it off or, I'm downplaying your 1 week, but then I come back and backdoor you and say, well, really what's going to change ultimately within a week? Well, I got one more dude coming out. I mean, I really appreciate what you got and everything. So it's the $2,300. I mean, you're still stuck on that 23. I mean, we could go builders or preferred. I mean, no. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it and everything else. Then you jump back into the advertising assistant.
I've asked that question before because you recently started touching on that the last couple of weeks where take it away from them, go into the builders. And I said, well, we can get you into the preferred. And then they said, okay. They were like, all right, cool. Yeah, let's just do it that way. And then they were like in for the preferred because of where the price was at. Because I had got the number out of them. I was bridging the gap, doing it the way I wanted to. And then.
They bought from me though?
No. I battled with them and tried to get them back into platinum, and then it ended up being a pitch.
I was going to ask that earlier. When do I just accept?
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Like I was battling with them. We had the platinum figured out or whatever. And I said, if I could have did it for that price, I would. I mean, we can get you into the preferred. They're like, you know what? I mean, I do like the price of the preferred. Let's just, let's focus on the preferred instead. And they kind of switched mindsets and it fucked with me big time.
But you can't, just remember, you're in control, so don't let it change you up that much.
Right.
You can't discount the preferred.
Fair.
And that's where your mindset, you can.
Of course.
And that's why you automatically jump to that stuff and things. If they go, well, I like the price better. Okay, I understand you like the price. They go, price aside, which one best meets your needs? Let them go back to the platinum. Well, the platinum meets all my needs, but I could probably settle for the preferred because of the price point. That's exactly what you want them to say.
I could settle.
But you just didn't have them hit you. You didn't go back to the platinum. Well, price aside, which one best meets your needs?
I didn't.
The platinum does. Okay, and so you like the platinum. What is it about the platinum? Let them go and label everything and say, okay. And then obviously you said you would consider the preferred. What is it about the preferred package that most turned you on? And you built up all the value of the platinum. They're not going to say all the value there.
The price.
You like the price. Okay, so you like the value of this one, but you like the price of this one. So ultimately, that's what you got to figure out: is it worth the extra money to get all the value this package provides, or is it just more or less the game of price?
And I guess.
Well, I guess the price is probably most important. Well, if you can get the value at the price, then it's a no-brainer for you, right? You're getting the price that you want and all the value here. I mean, that's ultimately what you're trying to achieve, right?
We were way into the appointment at this point in time, already battling price with the platinum. We were super close, So at that point, since I've already done first time promo and I've been doing it, would it be bad at that point just to call you and say, like, just ask them for their business at a price, like, just pretend my platinum was at 14.5 and my preferred was at 13.8, right? We're super close. Can I just ask for their business, 13.8 to do the platinum?
You can. I mean, you just ask them, and sometimes I'll get down to it. Once I've done my first time promo, I'll do my advertising assistance. Okay, and then they still say no, but I'm getting closer and closer because I don't want to go down to that number yet.
Right.
I'm going to keep chunking it down. I'm not going to go the full 2,300 at this point. I'm going to take maybe another 1,500 off.
Right, never.
Now there's an 800. That's my advertising assistance. They say no. Now I'm going to give them my employee pricing. They don't know what that is. It's another $300 discount. All right, and then they still say no. Then I'll break it down. Look, what's the magic number? What's it going to take to get you on the schedule? I'm not saying he can do it, but it's, obviously you're willing to work with us. We've been working with you and everything else. We really want to get these before and after pictures. What's it going to take to get you on the schedule today? Tell me a number. The worst he could do is say no. I'm going to call him, and I know he's cutting deals right now. He said that next week pricing's going up, everything else. So if he's going to sharpen his pencil, now's going to be the time. How sharp does he got to get it? What's going to make that magic number? 13.5. Okay, so you tell me 13.5, we're putting this thing on the schedule right now?
Yes.
Okay, because he's at dinner right now. I'm not going to interrupt him unless your 13.5 is the number. Okay, great. Now make that fucking phone call, come in there, and now I'm on the phone. Look, this is the deal. Okay, he's been working with us. He's, wants to do this. We're still at that corner lot. Everything is great. He said if we could do it for 13.5 right now out the door, we'll put it on the schedule, right? That's what you said, right?
Right.
He can't hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, you heard him? All right, because what happens? Have you ever gone down to that number that they told you and then they fucking weasel their way out of it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, not if you do it like that on the phone with me.
Yeah.
Okay, like I just did it. Look, you said 13.5, right? 13.5? Okay, now I'm getting another commitment. I'm not getting off that phone and getting you to 13.5 and having you wiggle way out. Okay?
Wiggle, wiggle.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. All right? I'm
brings up
fucking
a-
hammering you at that point.
That brings up a good point. It just popped in my head, but that appointment you guys went on where she was putting on her coat trying to get out, did you guys kind of ask her to do a discount? Like ask her if you could call your boss? You know what I'm saying?
At which point when because
Like in general, for any of the
No,
discounts, you didn't
she was
ask?
no,
getting
I
up
didn't
and
ask
she
her for
said-
the discount. I
She said,
asked
don't
her.
waste your time. And he was like, well, I'm going to do it anyway, so I feel like I'm doing a disservice to you if I don't at least make the phone call for you. So he was very, very adamant about the fact. He was pleading with her, like, please
I
just sit
wasn't
down and give me a
asking
couple
her
more
if I
minutes of
could
your
call
time.
my boss. I was already dialing. It wasn't about, I was just, can I please just have another minute of your time? I want to make sure that I'm doing the most for you I can while I'm here.
It's a weird situation because I wasn't there, obviously.
And like I said, I got, at which point too, like, once she stood up and I knew what direction I was taking it in, I kind of tried to stand up too to grab her attention, like, look, I'm serious about this. Like, I'm not, and I'm trying to, and we did, I don't want to get too much into it because I beat myself up about it all day yesterday because leaving there, I felt like there was nothing I could do. Talking to Dave, I realized everything I could have did, and then waking up Sunday, I just felt stupid.
For like the first 5 months I worked.
Yeah.
It wasn't a bad stupid. It was laughing stupid. Like, God, I'm such an
For the
idiot.
first 5 months I worked here, me and Dave had 30-minute phone calls after almost every one of my appointments.
But I feel like these
Just-
co-leads,
just talking shit, explaining why I'm a fucking dumbass, going through it. And like you walk out of the house thinking you did everything you could
Yeah.
until Dave fucking
Well, yeah, but
bullet point list of the 50 things.
the co-leads are a little bit hard for me right now too because I went on one with Anthony on Saturday. And the leads I did with Anthony on Saturday. And one of the issues me and him ran into was I probably know the most about Windows as far as using the apps go, but I still don't understand your guys' window presentation. I still don't even know how to do a 4-box sheet for Windows or none of that. So with the second lead being nothing I knew about, I was, hey, this is Shannon, he's in training, right? So I wasn't trying to take her attention off Anthony or do anything of the sort. But once Anthony got the window pricing and he brought out the 4-box sheet, I was sitting there thinking like, how would you price Windows? And that's what's going on in my head, right? Well, Anthony's looking at me like, oh God, I'm about to fuck up on Windows. Cause I'm looking at him trying to figure out how he's going to price it. He's misreading the situation, thinking I'm judging him about the Windows and I literally tried telling him that. He was like, you just look like you had anxiety. I was like, no, it wasn't anxiety. That was confusion is what I'm seeing because I'm sitting there thinking, how is he going to, and I was kind of waiting for him to describe in his price sheet, like, okay, so what you're seeing here is with triple pane or whatever it was, but that misreading of that situation made things weird for him. Now I'm sitting here, I don't even know what's going on. I'm still just confused. I'm not even,
Right.
he was thinking I had anxiety because I'm a new guy in there, and it was like,
You ended up selling it, didn't you?
No.
Oh, not that one?
no, what the fuck? Nope. So, and that was just kind of hard being a new guy because we're getting in there talking about it. I wasn't beating myself up on that one. Listen, you misread the situation. I was there in training, and not to be a dick, that's my homeboy. But listen, you can't look at me and say it was my eye contact that threw you off. You should have been looking at me at all.
Right.
That's how I felt about it. And it was like, I understand the anxiety. I've known him for 14 years. He's still trying to read me like he knew me for 14 years.
That's why some of us.
Quit paying attention to me. You couldn't even separate anxiety from me being confused. And that's not to be a dick, but then I'm sitting there feeling like it's hard to do
90%
these
of the
together
leads-
things because
90% of the leads we run by ourselves, so that 10% when we're with someone, it's like you gotta feel it out. It's weird. It's not the same. It just isn't. And you guys gotta be on the same page. Everything sets it off when you're
Yeah.
with another person. So
But then again, it's still, you can look at two things, okay? You either make money or you make excuses of why you didn't.
Exactly.
And that's an excuse of why he didn't make money there because he's blaming it on him that he threw him off.
Okay.
Whether he threw him off or not, no, I fucked it up.
Okay.
I should have been prepared on how to present the 4 prices to him, so your reaction shouldn't have influenced.
And he did. He took ownership for his own mistakes. Like he wasn't hammering
That's what I'm saying.
me.
That's the attitude. I mean, you gotta figure. It's easy to always blame, so well, the wife got up and left. That's the reason I couldn't close it. Yeah, that's true, but what did you do? Why did she leave? If she was all into the presentation and all excited about it, she would have never got up. If you parked behind her, she couldn't have left.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, she's walking out the door, so you still got conflict right there. You know, so you want to avoid that if you can,
Like
but
I was saying, she didn't even get up and start leaving until that fucking stink of desperation started fucking just filling the room.
I was a little late, but did you guys? So, how did you guys talk about when me and Ethan were on that lead and Tittle came behind us? Because that shit's still fucking.
I was
I told you
telling-
not to let shit get in your head. That bitch is still in my.
I was telling him that like me and you sat at the kitchen table with them for like another 45 minutes while Tittle sat at the fucking staircase.
Yeah,
while we
Tittle
were
brought in a chair, brought in a fucking
a little
folding
fold-out chair.
and sat at their front door.
His own personal folding chair?
Own personal folding
Own
chair.
fucking chair. It
And
was
sat
so
down in
weird,
front of their
dude.
front door like this and had a one-on-one with the wife while she stood up left and me and Ethan were still sitting with the husband. Like, what am I supposed to, like, I felt weird.
I was telling him all of them.
Invite him over.
The first thing that I would have done is, you know, when I saw their truck sitting out front, I would have gone outside, grabbed the yard sign from my car and put it in the front yard. And then kind of waved at them as I was going back in. You know, think about if that happened to you, if you pulled up out front and then you saw Tittle Brothers truck in the front and they came out and you saw a Tittle sign in their front yard, you're going, man, what the fuck? You're calling me up, Dave, what do you want me to do? They already bought from Tittle, they might get the fuck out of here, blah, blah, blah. And that's how most people would react to that and they would just fucking leave. So I want to see what kind of guy, like, now here's my poker game. You know, where is this guy? How does he fucking play? Is he going to be a bulldog? Is he going to be a pussy and just fucking leave and have the office call it back to reschedule? Because he's like, well, this is done. You know, it's his excuse why he could leave and not have to pitch it and stuff like that.
Right.
You know, or is he going to go knock on the door? I would have also said something to the customer, look, man, you double booked us or whatever the case is. You know, I'm still here. I still got a lot of things to go over with you. You know, tell him to be on the way and come back in a half hour or so. You know, give me the time that we had designated for. So try to take control of it that way where it's not going back and forth. Because now you're just being disrespectful to everybody.
Yeah.
You guys, them, him, you know, everything else, trying to jump back and forth and everything. So that's one angle. I would have, you know, dragged it on as long as I fucking could and made that guy just sit there and sit there. And
I was fucking trying.
so that's another thing too. And
I don't know if I'll call myself out. I don't even know if I have the balls to do it, but having them come sit down with us at the kitchen table and literally go bat for bat with them.
and the thing is, you won't have to because you'll notice now starts fucking. You're putting him in an awkward situation.
Mhm.
No. Just go ahead and finish up everything else. I tell you what, here's my card. Just, you know, I'll be in the neighborhood. Whatever, shoot me a call or text. I'm gonna grab a bite to eat when he's all done. Now he freaks out and he leaves.
Right.
Right, and then now you can just turn back to him and say, I mean, come on, I wanted to show him everything. You know, what's the best way of, you know, comparing apples with apples in a side by side comparison.
Yeah.
I want to see that TV versus that one and determine which one has the better picture.
Right.
You know, as a side by side comparison instead of trying to remember everything. But the problem is like you said, I don't know if I have the balls to do that. He ain't got the balls to fucking say yes.
Right.
You're challenging him. Saying, I'm willing to throw my dick on the table. Are you? Let's fucking go. And
Yeah.
no, I'll come back. They'll start freaking out.
Right.
You know, and what did he have to lose? What did he have to hide? Apparently, he doesn't think that his product can withstand to mine.
The
I
reason-
love doing that on the fucking windows. I'll pull on my glass, I'll lay it on the ground, I'll start jumping on it. Go, you jump on your window, motherfucker.
The reason it's messing with
No,
me
I'm
so
good.
much is because retail was 106 grand on a platinum roof, not metal. It's a fucking massive job. So I'm doing everything in my fucking power to. I told Ethan, like, dude, we're fucking selling this bitch. I'm not leaving. Like, let's fucking get it. I was in it. Whole bitch got fucked up. I was so
He threw
pissed.
you a curveball, and he's like, how do I handle it? And that's why, guys, it's so important to, we've been talking about it all day long, forming the habits. Form the habits, get in the groove of where you don't even have to think about it. It's second nature. So when they give you an objection, you go straight to the fucking survey. I understand you want to get more estimates. I understand you have Tittle Brothers sitting in the next fucking room. Okay, but when you're bringing him in and you're looking at, do you need anything more than what my product offers you? Want? It's about building those habits. You shouldn't, again, it should be routine. Your fucking story. This story is verbatim, word for word, the same every single time I fucking say it.
Yeah.
You think I practice it every once in a while?
I'm glad he brought that story up too, because
Why do you guys?
I
think
was selling when I
shoes are
first
really-
fucking got here, and I used that story. It was on every single fucking first time promotion on the back of it, all of them. And now I don't do it, and I haven't been selling.
Because he got smart.
Exactly.
And you just build these little things, you don't understand the meaning, the impact that they have, but then when all of a sudden they're gone,
They add up. Man.
you don't even realize that they're gone.
Yeah.
Until all of a sudden, like, we go through and you're going, man, I used to use that all the fucking time. Why did I stop? Because you sold a couple times, you didn't get into the whole story, and people still bought from you, and then next thing you know, it's been gone. It's been 6 months I haven't fucking used it. What the hell am I doing?
I really use the pitch for part of my connection, because I know Anthony keeps pushing, connection with the customer is just as important. And like, I'm personally myself, I'm gonna build more of that connection once I get past the company story and all that, because now you're comfortable with Rock Solid. I've got you a little bit more. I'm gonna try to build as much connection with that customer as I can while going through those products.
time.
With the storytelling and this, that, and the other thing. And I mean, that kind of threw us for a curveball on Saturday too. Again, not to throw him under the bus in any way, but he let me do the pitch, and as soon as I got through the whole company story and all of that, the guy was talking to us a little bit about being an engineer, this, that, and the other thing. So as soon as I got through the company story, he took over from there. So like, I didn't feel like I was able to fully do what I was sitting down and doing. So then it makes it awkward for me to even, I'm creating a connection. You just took the connection out of my hand, shifted all the attention to you. They haven't even connected to me yet. So like, and I'm trying to base all of that off of like, I know where I build my connection. I talk to people. I've been talking to people for 26 years. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to keep it simple with what I know right now. And while we're in here, I'm trying to learn the complex things but I need to make sure that before I start going into these topics, into these conversations, that I understand the end game. Because you can explain it to me and I understand where you're going, but it's me actually doing that with the customer. Because I don't want to do the mic drop at the end, get halfway through explaining something, because I understand the end game, I do this, and that, and I skip the whole middle portion of it, and I'm just hammering you with the end result of it.
No, you can't. That's why, I mean, you might, if you still don't understand it yet, just realize, again, do the pieces in the order that we're telling you to. Eventually, you'll understand it and why and stuff like that, but you'll cost yourself a lot of money if you're waiting to understand it.
Yeah.
Before you actually start implementing.
That's my homework,
One big
understanding these things.
One big thing that he glanced through, and we had a talk like probably 4 months ago, and it was one of the biggest light bulbs that had gone off, is when you're discounting and you got that number, right? It's that battle, which it seems so easy thinking about it, but it's really, really important. Making them feel like they're beating the fuck out of you. And you're never like, I'm at 17, they want to be at 15. I do one discount and I'm at like, I don't know, 16.5. And then my next discount, I go straight to 15. Can never do that. You just can't. Because then they'll be like, damn, I should have said 14. Damn, I should have said 13. And it seems so simple just talking about it. Like, obviously, it's not.
No.
When you're there and you're like, damn, they need to be at 14. Bet we're writing it. All right, I'll do it for 14. It'll never work. Even though it feels like it will, that was fucking me up for months.
Yeah.
For months. And I never realized that I couldn't pinpoint it. Until I talked to him. He's like, what the fuck are you doing? Why would you drop to that? And we were just sitting there and he was like, don't you feel like I just beat you up? Yeah. Did you win? I mean, yeah. And then it just clicked. It matters, dude. And then now
Well, it's
I
even
think
like the
about that
first
every
time you had us give the pitch, and like I'm sitting here waiting to hear your guys's and then watch you guys stumble and bumble through it. even still.
I stumble and bumble more in here, and it's what you want. You want to fuck up in here, and I do. Like it's scarier in here than it is in the house.
Yeah, like I'm sure you guys have noticed, like when I gave my presentation on Thursday, or even when I did my close today, my first one was great. I did good. And then once I get to that second one and I start thinking about my first one, I bomb on that second one because I start to try to pinpoint too many things that were wrong with the first one instead of giving myself the least bit of credit of what was good about it.
And you
'Cause-
know that we know the right answer.
Yeah, well, that, and it's like, well, obviously every one of us are here to be the best we can be, right?
Mhm.
So it's like, I need to get out of my head, it needs to be better, and I maybe just need to give myself some more credit for even where I'm at, only being 2 weeks. And a lot of it's personal, it's the attitude, it's that mindset, and if I'm not happy with what I can do going in here, it's gonna be hard to feel good while doing it. So it's like, that's what I really gave myself yesterday to do, that's why I really didn't want to do anything yesterday, is because it was like, spent all day Saturday, Friday night hammering myself. What did I do wrong? And then it's like, I did not give myself any credit.
I was gonna say, remember what you did right though, too.
I gave that, I mean, I had that customer on Friday to look at my price and the price wasn't even what was crazy. We totally see the value after you gave us our presentation. We see the value. So it was like, cool. I didn't step back and say, you know what, when I did give that presentation, like that was kind of good for me, I guess, for the customer to be able to look at it and go, oh no, it's not really the price first product that's scaring me. It's just what I'm willing to spend. So it was like, I know I can tweak on that, but I got to give myself credit.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm not going to be the best in a week. I'm not going to be the best in a year. So I just need to slowly just keep giving myself credit. And
You get the best in the year, no problem.
well, I could be, but
Easily, easily, man, easily. Fuck, man, Steve.
Every day you need to
Steve
be
was-
better than you were yesterday.
Yeah, Steve in
Give up
6
after a
months
year.
sold 1 million.
yeah,
Like,
Say it again.
fuck, in 1 month, he sold like 400.
It was like 429. Motherfucker killed it.
I even had to re-talk him
That
up
was the
on that
apartment
because when he
complex
was
month,
telling me
dude.
about it, he was like, no, it's really not that big of a deal. I'm like, dude, any other person in this sales group I talk to talks highly of what
It's
you came in
huge.
here and did.
It's
So it's like,
huge.
keep that same
Well, I
energy.
remember when I first started, that October, my second month here, I sold almost 200, and that was huge. At the time, they were like, holy shit, that
I
was.
thought
huge.
I came out the gate.
And then the motherfucker sold 400, and it's like, damn. I feel like every month it's a whole new bar
That was a 1 year jump.
that's being set.
Yeah.
That's when we talk in 4 years,
Yeah.
right? Imagine what we're gonna be doing.
What did you?
Grind, bro.
Yeah, that's exciting, but
It's
that's
that fucking
just
grind,
taking the
bro.
step back and giving myself credit for what I do.
Ethan,
know.
your turn, man.
Okay.
Present them the price. Yeah, that's what I'm going through here.
Talk to Shannon, telling him that we will talk about
All right, my dog, appreciate the tips today.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, I'm gonna be showing you 4 different prices, 4 different packages. You got your
But let's say we do decide.
basic package, which is just
I would make.
straight down to meat code.
Plan
You got
on.
your preferred package, which we're getting more up there in quality. You got your platinum package, which is all the bells and whistles. And then we have metal, we can offer metal roofing.
I just get the pricing for, say, I get the pricing for 500 terms of the better. Or is there something else?
You said this one here is just bare minimum.
Looking at it,
Yeah.
it's like, I would maybe have-
Talk to you, boys. Good luck today.
Well, we've had price increases too.
I'm not interested in that at all. That price is just way
Fair
too
enough.
high.
I would just run it through the other and find out where it comes in.
What kind of pricing, you're pricing it that way? Is that much different than what you have?
No, I mean, it's.
Yeah, I've been poor before too.
Or no.
I check that, run it through the estimation on there.
It's just high.
Right.
Cause I mean, back then.
I mean, really, both of them. Definitely more than what I was spending.
What were you thinking this week?
I mean, honestly, I guess I didn't have too much of an idea. I guess I was just kind of basing it off of what I had, kind of hoping I was within a certain range, but I guess I was definitely thinking closer to like 8.
Did this already.
Okay.
Obviously, it's a
8, 9.
I mean, I know I've seen you put your financing down here,
Yeah, say I ran it through again and
but
it's,
I don't obviously know where I'm gonna be a year from now or what could happen, so I'm trying to really steer away from the financing just because I don't wanna end up defaulting on something like this.
Okay, I got a question. I should already brought this in, huh?
what's the name on that one? Holy soul.
This time now, but now I know, 'cause I just not.
If you're looking
I think
for
about that
Salesforce, it'll be.
That's gonna be like,
before you even get.
so like
the
how
price.
you, yeah, exactly, so if you were to do it like a real live, you would have had time to fill this out, and you'll probably
Okay, I'm
remember
gonna restart real quick.
at that time.
Then I'm gonna be giving you, 4 different prices for 4 different packages we offer. Probably get your prices together if you could just fill out the bottom portion for me. It's basically just my report card for the office, so they know how I'm doing with my homeowners. And that's basically how we do it, right?
Yeah.
Finance be in here.
Yep. What's that, 4.5%, 5.5%?
So again, yeah, we're too high for what I was really thinking.
And what
Like
were
I
you
said-
thinking?
I haven't had any other quotes, so I guess I don't know what a roof's gonna cost. I'm just looking at the finances I have available and
Okay,
was just kind of hoping it was around that ballpark.
which is,
Have 8, 9 grand.
okay.
It's just too much for me at the second.
And have we thought about financing it all?
I mean, I've given it some thought. My main issue is like I said, I don't know where I'm gonna be financially a year from now, and I would hate to lock myself into something like this.
Okay.
And not be able to follow through with the payment.
Well, what you could do is take what you have and put it down, which will get that payment lower for you.
That is true. But still, I mean, even just the monthly bill, just for the time being, that's,
Right.
it's gonna be kind of a lot for me to swing.
Well, going with our financing the payments don't start until after the install. So it gives you time to shop still,
Oh, so that's not even gonna start until,
till installation. So
how
till
far
you're
are you on installation?
4 to 6 weeks right now.
4 to 6 weeks. And then how far after till the payments start?
What was it again, Dave? So I don't get some of there. How far is it after installation that the payments start for financing?
30 to 45 days after the job is done.
And you have 30 to 45 days after installation.
It's just hard for me to justify right this second.
So what are you taking off of this? That was out there?
Sorry?
On the Foley job, what are you changing?
Okay, so
So I guess what I'm still, just that, it's that sticker,
you're
it's that
not
sticker
thinking
price.
about the basic at all.
No, I mean, I feel like I'm gonna just be calling you again for another roof in a couple of years.
Right, and the metal roof, obviously.
Yeah, that's just, if we're out of the budget here, we're definitely out of the budget there.
So we're kind of focusing between the preferred and platinum.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
So I was gonna.
Price aside, which one does meet your needs?
When I did the job.
I like the Owens Corning package because you guys are keeping everything together
Right, all
with Owens
aligns with each
Corning.
other,
I mean,
right.
I know I'm gonna get the ice and water, the extra, and my valleys, my ridges, my pipes. Yeah, I just say it's high, man.
Right, so price aside, the platinum package would be us meeting your needs.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you what, my boss has installed this program, which is our 10% off first time promotion, which this program is used for how you exactly do 6 weeks. I can watch this video later. But basically what it does is throughout the months, we've collected and how many appointments we run, how many we have to reschedule because of having the other people. So we put in our 10% promotion to help us
The price at the time.
get the customers what they need in our first visit, so then we can attend all of our other appointments with them,
You got 3 windows on this page.
which I would obviously want to
You
be
got
that much
2 more
better.
windows, a patio door, this, you got 3 windows on that one, those are all.
Oh, so you're saying you could,
One more, that's
so you could-
6. 7, 8, 9, 10.
So, okay, so looking at this number, that means that this
Yeah,
could also
the
go down
windows, so-
another,
And that was.
1450?
One of the questions I wanted to bring up was the windows that we
Why is that?
are installing, are they gonna need to
Our
be?
platinum
Oh,
package,
no,
our
that's
platinum
in the brick.
package, that's with all of our buildings.
Those don't, but still, these are all.
and I get the guaranteed and the warranty issue here, but after you've talked so highly about your installers, I mean, I'm just gonna go ahead and assume you guys are gonna give me the best job, no matter what, right?
Well, with our marketing department, because we do so much volume in our platinum, it gives us more wiggle room to be able to work with homeowners for,
That's what I was gonna try.
we're not doing as much volume in, so it's harder to take from that, add here.
What's up, Jake?
I'm only in here because this.
So I see we're definitely getting closer here to there, and I understand why you're not really gonna wanna discount that. I mean, we're still talking $1,000.
Can't check them, so I have to read it when it comes to the email.
Um,
She says, hello, Jason, this is Nancy Myron. We spoke about a month ago. I wanted to make an arrangement to have you guys come out and give me a quote on doing my flat roof.
Let me tell you
on the
what, my
extension
boss
of my
just came up
house.
with this program, advertising assistant.
I know we only do a certain type of flat roof.
What we did through COVID is he realized that we're putting a lot of money into
With a limited amount of flat roof replacements,
commercials and
must
things
have
like that. Well,
approval
we're talking
for
about a program for
equipment, tar
advertising
or
assistant,
rubber roofing.
which is basically giving.
When I come back to get
So
approval first.
basically
before
us
I even
partnering up, you help me out.
call her to say, hey,
So
you don't have any tar up there, right? You
basically,
don't have any rubber up there, right?
checklist,
And then she says,
If
no,
you're willing
I
to
can
do
set it,
that.
I'm guessing.
meet some of these
She
agreements on
says,
this.
I don't know if I have that shit or not. What
Even more
do you
because
want me
you're
to
doing advertising for a company,
do?
which gets our name out there way more.
Do you have Salesforce on that?
We,
Okay, just look up her
Would you
name.
be okay with us putting the yard
Nancy
sign?
Myron.
I mean, yeah, that'd be fine.
and then would you be okay with
MYRO.
giving me a review on either Google, Facebook, Yelp,
Yeah, that's no problem, as long as everything goes the way it should.
and along with me and the company as well.
Check, but there are no notes in there to say why. So maybe it's because we weren't.
Do you have any referrals to give?
Not really.
Fair enough. Could you do our sign up for life? I don't think we covered that. Or how about, I agree with a drone video, maybe?
I'd be okay with the drone video.
So, well, let me tell you what, let me call my boss, see what I can do. I would obviously like the phone call at the time when I leave.
Maybe we can catch.
Okay, so then I think
It's
it's the one
it's
that's
a 112 or higher.
12.5. Could be wrong.
That looking flat to me.
She
No,
said something about
no.
it's on the extension or something.
Yeah, that sunroom, no, that's not flat. I mean, it might be considered flat, but that's like at least a 1.5. So it's EPDM, it's not tar.
Wherever.
So we can do it,
I
right?
mean, I'm not giving that call, but that's what I would have done, is just look and see if you can see it. But it looks like a 1.5.
I'm working, bro. What's up?
I'm gonna watch these videos later and rework this whole thing.
I don't remember offhand. I know somebody heard him doing it and then decided to mention it, and then he did it on an episode of, yeah, it's,
I mean, I definitely see
oh, nice, road dog.
where you're able to offer me these things and bring that price down, but I mean, still without other quotes or anything else. Like I said, I don't even know around about what this is supposed to be costing me, so I still don't even know if that number is as high or low. I mean, you could still be showing me a house or a price that's a couple grand more than the other, competitors.
It's the one on the corner, I believe. Well, that's what it's showing in mine.
At this point, it's just about the dollars making sense.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, because you related the license and insurance, you rated us a 10.
If it's the right house, right?
Companies ratings and rep rated me a 10.
No, it's not.
Our time in business also rated a 10. Curb appeal,
It's a home show lead.
protection up for your home, you rated that a 10, which that is major. Proper ventilation, we also
No, I
rated
talked
that
to
a 10, which is the most important part of your roofing system. A strong guarantee, rated that a 10.
That's why you don't.
Insulation a 10.
What's the source on it?
Value a 10. The only thing with that is this price.
Well,
Where would I have to be for my price to be rated a 10.
If I call her and.
I mean, like I said, it's hard for me to gauge without getting those other quotes. I understand you got, you know, there's a lot of value in your product and what you're trying to offer me, but
North. I thought she was lying about where she was.
Right.
it's kind of hard.
Shit like that happens all the time. You get out there and you're like, yeah,
I
this
explained it a minute ago, but I didn't fully get it.
I've had
I get, he wanted me to start going through the
the
checklist
number
and
wrong.
answer yourself.
Instead of a two.
But no, I get there and you're like, okay, that's all great, and, but still.
It'll take you 3 miles away from where you're supposed to be.
Can you?
Salesforce?
Cause I feel like I got the gist of everything else, maybe I wanna work with my.
Maybe I'm just that dickhead customer that no matter what you're gonna say to me, I still want my other quotes.
Yeah.
So I guess neither of us know where to draw the line in the sand with that situation either, because at which point do I just say, you know what?
You're a fucking asshole, without saying it, but.
But I gotta get her phone number.
Is it really?
Where?
Sucks for him.
Oh, okay.
I'd like to hear him do it.
Still recording?
Think so.
Yeah, I guess that's what I'm saying.
You guys both have girlfriends, wives,
Yeah.
I got a BM.
doing anything for Valentine's Day?
Oh, well, actually, I'm really lucky. My wife just fully understood that I just got a job and I'm not really making any money right now. So,
Yeah.
we
She knows
just
I'm
kind of,
broke too. I got her a pack of hard dick and bubble gum.
I mean, I'm still gonna do normal. I'm gonna bring, you know, her and my daughter home some flowers and shit. but-
Yeah.
That's I went to Walmart and got a $20 hookup together, got her a big card, some flowers, a box of chocolates, and a coffee mug.
Honestly, we've never really been
Valentine's Day people.
any of them. Like, we don't,
Yeah.
She don't really
Christmas,
care
we
as long
don't
as
get
I
each other
ship it.
gifts, birthdays, we don't really do anything for each other, cause it's just like, we just look at more, not to sound all cute and cuddly, but it's just like the value of our day to day, I guess, you know, just the fact that I come home and have clean clothes. Like, there's not one day of the year I'm gonna expect you to go above and beyond. Cause I guess that's kind of what I expect out of her all the time.
So.
I try to do the same for her, you know, as far as with my work and.
Just call them.
So, I mean, it's never really been big for us, but for our 9-year anniversary that passed last year, was the first time we did anything for our
First off,
anniversary.
obviously, to make sure the address is right.
So,
But
Yeah, but you confirm your address.
But then we just passed our 10-year anniversary and didn't do shit for that.
For us, let's look into it.
I kinda got lucky. My girl don't really give a fuck as long as I kick it with her.
With the flat roof.
I don't gotta get her shit for any holiday. As long as I spend it with her, she don't really give a fuck. It's really just about the attention to her.
Yeah, we did that for like the first like 8 years. We
Yeah.
never really did any like Valentine's Day or anything like that. One year I just started doing it.
And I guess that's what the main,
It's just because I want to.
and anytime we run into these things when we have money, like if I have the money on Valentine's Day, of course, we're gonna do dinner.
Yeah.
You know, but-
Well, same thing with like the girls, right? Or, you know, with your daughter, they want something for Valentine's Day. And like before I had kids, we didn't give a shit. That was the first Valentine's Day we actually did was when my daughter was born.
I haven't seen that.
Which my daughter kind of cracked me up.
Changes you though.
I was
You're no
asking my
longer the
daughter.
same man ever
Yeah.
since having your
I
daughter.
was asking my daughter, I was like, "Can you be my Valentine?" She goes, "I'm everybody's Valentine. All my friends
that
are
little
Valentine."
sign in it.
She's like, "I want to be special to everybody I love." And I'm like, "Oh, dude, that's- you should probably use that on your mom or something."
I'm just gonna go out and get some candy and flowers, call it.
Super Bowl yesterday.
Maybe take them to the big boy across the street.
My girl's also a pothead.
But hey, look.
So, like, 10 out of 10 events in a year, she's
Does that count for anything? No.
I just come home like, yeah, I just picked up a fucking my spot wrap. She's all on.
I thought you
My
liked
girlfriend
that.
said, I got you your favorite kind of flowers.
But no, even still, it always comes from me. It's never anything from her. Which is fine. Like, I don't,
My wife is refusing to smoke right now, so we can't do that.
I wish. I've been trying to quit smoking pot for fucking.
That's the coolest thing for me is I'm like a total stoner. My girlfriend doesn't do nothing but vape. I mean, she likes to have her vape. Other than that, she don't smoke. She
Being a
don't.
young person without having money I get it, everybody could talk about how weed helps and weed's cool, right, like helps with my anxiety. That is still gonna be most people our age, number one fucking source of not being able to afford things they want is because they got a bag of weed.
Oh, dude, my God, when was the last time I went to the fucking distribute, 2.5 months ago? I spent $120, 2.5 months ago. I still have 2 carts.
Yeah, if you get those
I smoke
cartridges
so
also,
little weed. It's fucking ridiculous. Now, when I was, how old are you?
19.
When I was a little bit younger than you, I was spending $120 a week. Easy.
Easy, right?
And that was prices that were, 15 plus years ago. I was buying an ounce for $120.
Yeah,
And I was fucking smoking an ounce.
and I've had
of
also
weed.
older guys that I've had that same I'm 26, I'm still young, but I'm right now getting to that point to where it's like, I don't wanna sit down and fucking hang out with my friends and just smoke as much weed as we can. I'm like, I'm getting halfway through a joint right now and I'm like, yeah, I'm
It's
good.
like, who?
It's
I
hard
think it
for
was
me.
Steve. It might have been Steve. It was someone. No, Anthony. Not other Anthony, but the new guy,
He's the worst
Anthony.
one.
He went with me, our first ride along. It was like fucking 8:30 in the morning or 9:30 in the morning, and he's fucking hitting his vape pen. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, is that nicotine? He's like, no, it's THC. Hit it like 3 times before the appointment. I'm like, dude, how do you function? I hit my weed pen like twice a day at
Anytime
like
when I'm
9:30 at
yeah.
night, when I'm ready to get, that's when
I
I'm
could say so much about him. I
I'm
just-
like, how in the hell do you
Alright,
smoke
so
all
what,
day?
how did it go? When you were
But
presenting?
all the way up until the end,
I was
just-
kind of being a piece of shit customer.
Good.
and I was
Trying to
working
throw
it.
out as many objections, but it still came down to like, sitting here right now, he's now $900 below platinum. And I'm still kind of sitting there like, well, I haven't got any other quotes. So how do I still don't know whether that price at 13, whether you dropped it from whatever, how do I still know that's not 3,000 above what the next guy's gonna offer me?
Okay, so you haven't established the sign or the line in the sand as far as what his bottom pricing is. By
And I
giving the
was
other
trying
end.
hard to pull it.
And when
from
he
him,
was
but-
asking me what I was thinking about spending, I hit him with, well, honestly, with you being my first quote, I don't know. I was just kind of trying to base it off of my hopes because this is what I got in finances. So I was kind of hoping
It
I
was
could
really good for me. He battled the shit out of me.
clear
just
this
now.
up
Did
today.
you use the survey to go back to get the number out of him?
Mhm.
So what did he rate you on a scale of 1 to 10?
And he wouldn't. That's actually where I went back to that, and that's where we stopped. Is I couldn't get it out of him. The
On a
price.
scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate my price?
Oh, well, there he had circled. I was going to tell him 5 because I haven't got other quotes. It could be high, could be low.
Perfect, so you rate my price a 5?
Yeah.
What would my price have to be for you to rate it a 10 out of 10?
That's what I said. He said, "I don't know. I haven't got other quotes."
Yeah, I understand you don't have any quotes. You feel that the platinum is better than the preferred, don't you?
Yeah, of course.
And you'd expect to pay more for the better product, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So the question is it worth the extra $2,500 that it's on the paper? That's basically what you're telling me.
You made me feel stupid.
Good.
But that's what I like about it is because I'm trying to be a piece of shit customer, and even you saying that it made it hard for me to even continue to be a piece of shit customer because now I have to think about how I'm going to be a piece.
Well,
Of
but that's the thing, and they're not even trying to be a piece of shit. They don't realize it. But then when they break it down and go, okay, yeah, the platinum is better.
Yeah.
I do feel that, and yeah, I guess I would expect to pay more for the better product. And I guess what I really need to think about then is the difference of what that would be. I mean, if I can get the 75 incher at the price of the 50, yeah, it's a fucking no brainer.
Right.
I guess that is why I want to get other estimates and see what else is out there, because I want everything that you're providing for me. I love it. But if I can get it as close to the preferred pricing, I mean, I guess that's why I'm shopping and getting that number from them. So if at first you don't succeed, try again, just a different angle.
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you, well, that's why you're here. Okay, now I'm going to come at it. Well, you do feel that this is a better product than the other, right? Yes, you'd expect to pay more. So that's a different angle for me to get a number out of you. If I don't have the forward pricing, I can't do that. Another thing I like to use the line too, well, look, man, if you thought this was gonna be a couple $100, you would have got this project done a long time ago. Okay, I mean, you wouldn't have let it get to the condition it was in if you thought it was gonna be that.
Right.
All right, if you thought it was gonna be 50, 60 grand, I probably wouldn't be sitting at your kitchen table right now, would I?
Yeah.
And you kind of laugh at us, so you had an idea of what it was gonna cost. Not exact ballpark, what were you thinking? And then they'll slip and they'll throw up a number.
He did do really good as soon as we kind of started bartering with the prices, and I kind of he got it out of me that I was only working with so much, and he did kind of tackle right into, well, just because I did tell him that I didn't want the monthly price tag over my head because I didn't know what was going to happen over the course of the next year. I wouldn't want to default on something like this. But he did right away, like, well, if that is something you're worried about, you could put whatever you have down. I know this is zero down, but if you were to put X amount down, it'd bring your monthly price down to something you might be more comfortable with setting up. So he nailed that.
Speak a little clearer.
Yeah, I
You
was
were
saying.
mumbling, you were going through it, you were very quiet and stuff like that. I mean, I know we were doing our thing in here too, but
Yeah,
You
no, I
gotta
was
make
saying
sure-
there, I'm gonna watch this video later, because I would like to, I tackled all the points I wanted to, but I definitely could reword them a lot different than I was. Make it make sense, especially trying to master those stories a little bit more about the advertising assistance or why we run that first time 10% and stuff. I get your story now, I just gotta be able to put it in words myself.
you gotta get a little bit more energetic and stuff. I mean,
100%.
just your posture at the table though also
Right.
kind of influences that stuff. Being all slouched down and stuff, you were doing that even when you were presenting it to them.
Right,
You know, and therefore the tonality and stuff was low.
it makes it seem like.
More monotone, you know,
Right,
get on the edge of your seat, get excited, man, go, show
Right.
'em, sit up, you know, show the confidence level. Right now, you look like you're a scared little kid right now.
Another thing that he did that I like too is when he did start bringing up the discounting and then he gave me just my price on my platinum. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So that means we could also bring this preferred down by set amount. And then he hit me with, well, we do most of our volume in the platinum. So that's kind of where we're really trying to focus our work.
And I mean, besides even saying that part of the story too, you said you wanted platinum. Why are we even talking about preferred pricing?
Right.
Yeah.
You said you don't want it.
Yeah.
The only reason you want it is because the price is low, but that's not the product that meets your needs, right?
Yeah.
How much are you willing to spend on something that don't meet your needs? Whether it be 15 grand or I could have it down to 3 grand. If it doesn't meet your needs, it's still a waste of money, isn't it? So let's focus on the platinum because you said that that's what meets your needs.
Yeah, I'm curious about something. There was something I watched the other day that was talking about posture with, in sales. So it's like if you're sitting like this, it's a defensive posture or a weak posture. But like, let's say you're at a couch or something like that, and you're like sprawled out like this while they're doing that, it's more of a, not aggressive, but like
Relaxed.
dominating posture. Would you agree with that?
With the sitting back is a little bit more confidence,
Yeah.
coming through. I mean, you want to be, yes, like you were, where you were just sitting here like this, kind of like, come on, make your decision up. That's a
Yeah.
very aggressive posture. But like when you're presenting it, to kind of get into it and lean into them a little bit is fine. But then once you've presented your case, then to kind of sit back and relax for a minute.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I'm not attacking you. Give you guys a chance to breathe, sit back and stuff. But if you're all like this, that's where you were saying the other day when you presented it, you're like in their face, trying to be overly aggressive. They can see the what is it? How much you're pushing.
Yeah. Desperation.
The desperation in it because you're like, come on. And then we jump on it too.
Yeah.
Like Anthony, we were talking with him, he's dropping before he even has
Yeah.
that's because he's on the edge of the seat and shit like that. Now presenting it to him and everything else, you're kind of going, then sit back. And then once you sit back again, I always do this, the handcuffs, so I remind myself not to talk, but then also too, there's a little bit more separation between me and the customer, so I'm not, if they give an objection, I'm not jumping all over it, doing a discount when I don't even have the objection yet. So kind of just me mentally relax, take a step back, calm down,
Okay.
And I really liked earlier
have a
where
little
you,
conversation with them.
Yeah.
where you said, like the where's my poker face situation, and I'm a card player, so that kind of really put sit down with customers in perspective for me, because we're both sitting there waiting for somebody to fold. That's the whole thing. Either I'm going to keep falsely calling, or I'm going to try to do little things to get him to draw out what kind of card he has, because you can get that out of people. I watch poker hands, a guy will have 6-3 and get the guy to fold with a pair of jacks in his hands, and it's all the way he carried that whole stuff.
Well, and too, you do little things to test them to find out what are you really holding. So like I'm big into the poker too, but you were gonna put out a feeler bet.
Yeah.
Because I wanna see how you're gonna respond. Okay, I think you have something, but if I bet it a certain way, I'm gonna find out A, you have it, or you're gonna overbet me, which means I know you don't got it.
Yeah.
Because if you did have what you're representing you have, you wouldn't have bet that. You would have slow played it, or you would have just called, or whatever the case is. By you doing it, it just doesn't add up. And now it's like, okay, I know you're lying to me.
Yeah.
You're fucking bullshitting me. I don't know what yet, but I know you ain't telling the truth. Let me dig a little deeper. Here's another bet. Come on, let's see what you got this time. Oh, you're gonna come over the top? Well, I know you ain't fucking got it. I brought a double raise you. I'm all in. Fuck you.
Yeah.
And then you flip your 6-3 over.
I feel like tone is definitely like one of the most major parts of it too, because you can tell someone fuck you and have them ready to fight you, or you can say fuck you and start giggling with each other. So I
It
feel
is.
like tone definitely plays one of your most.
How many of your
major
fucking
factors.
text messages got misinterpreted?
Oh my God.
That's why I hate
I'm such an asshole.
I argue with my mom all the time and stuff.
And I'm in a great mood and stuff like that. I'm just like, hey, check this out. And they're like,
Question mark,
"You're
question
such
mark,
a-
question
You're
mark.
such a dick. You fucking yell at everybody.
You see how many question marks he put in that thing?
Yeah.
What a fucking asshole. It's like, oh, I just.
And I love when people read out loud a text message. And they always put like their own spunk and attitude.
Yeah.
I go, that's not what they're saying. Don't put that attitude in there. Like this person's all pissed off.
There's a skit of that online. If you've ever heard of Key and Peele,
Oh, yeah.
the comedians, there's a skit of that where they text each other and one guy, he's laid back, he's smoking his bong, playing video games, and he's like, oh, cool, yeah. And the other guy on the other end's just like fucking livid, ready to fight him. And he's like, hey man, let's meet up at the club. And he's like, oh, you want to meet up at the club? So one of, he's at the bar and the other dude shows up with a bat with fucking nails in it, ready to fuck him up.
That one killed me.
I mean, that's just an example though,
Mhm.
of how people understand and interpret the tone, like you were saying. I mean, that's all.
Makes me scared to do business, over email and text sometimes.
I wonder if I'm ever like trying to figure a situation out with someone and we're texting back and forth. Halfway through sending my message, I just say fuck it and call them real quick because I don't want to leave the room for someone to misinterpret me. So if I ever was trying to have a homeowner who felt like maybe I didn't handle something the right way and stuff, I'm definitely just gonna call because you're gonna end up thinking I'm a dick if I text you, and it's not that at all.
Because again, they can hear in your voice.
Yeah,
They can hear how
so
sincere.
I want them to hear
you
I'm
are.
concerned and stuff. Like I give a fuck, and I feel like I can't show that at all if I send them an email.
If it's like a yes or no question, by all means, but if anyone asks me
Yeah.
a specific question, it would be a text, I'll just call them. I don't even say, I just call.
Yeah, because I just feel
And
like
that's
it's
the best,
directly
like,
saying I
with
don't care.
CICs and shit. Talk to them verbally over the phone and
Yeah.
explain to them, okay, this is the situation, this is what I gotta add to your thing, whatever the case is. And then once you've had that conversation, I'm gonna follow up with a text just to confirm everything that we're talking
Yeah,
about.
because I just feel like if they're already calling or sent an email with a concern, if you send an email back, you're basically saying like it didn't concern me too much. Like I feel like if they're already concerned, sending an email back just shows like you weren't really too worried about it. Versus if you call it shows like, oh really, you were upset about something. Let's nip this in the ass.
It's not that, because it is nice to have a paper trail.
Right.
When it comes to that stuff, text and email is great for that because you have a paper trail.
Right.
So it's like I can refer back, if they call you and you talk to them and then like 3 days later it comes back up again, you're like, oh shit, I can't remember what all was said.
Right.
And then you can go back through. So there's some pros and cons to it, but I agree with you. It's like doing business.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Email and, but
And even correlating that to sales, I guess it's running into that same issue with the customer, and then how do we work that phone call? You know what I'm saying? How do we do that with the customer when
I
you?
just and if they have a concern, there's no way to work them over text message. I feel like you're just pissing them off even more. The more you send another message, it's just another paragraph they got to fucking
Yeah,
read.
it's just to get the line of communication going.
Yeah.
Send a text message when they start coming back, hey, when's a good time for me to call and go over these details? Now they know that the phone number's coming through as them, they know what's happening, half the time you call them and they won't recognize the number.
Right.
So at that point, we're like, who the fuck is calling? We send them a follow-up text, hey, Ethan from Rock Solid, had a couple questions regarding your thing, I saw your concerns.
Right.
When's a good time to contact you? I'd rather talk about it in person. Okay. And then they get on the phone with them and shit like that and solve it. Well, I'm not gonna be available till 8 o'clock tonight or whatever, I gotta work, and then cool, then call them and, work out the details, so.
Did you get a chance to look at that one? The Hardy one,
Yeah, I was showing 102 retail
102?
when I broke it down.
Is that, should we go based off of that? Because I remember there was a little bit more siding in there than what it said. Because it was like.
So I was breaking down where they were coming out with the siding, 'cause I was trying to do a partial and see if they were picking up like any of this stuff, and they had like the sides, it looked like what was in there was legit.
Okay.
So I went off of that number, I'm at 102, retail, and then normal discounts from there. If they want it, great, if not, then.
Yeah, there ain't much I can do about it, because they're looking at adding the deck to it too, and I'm not fucking lowballing that shit either.
No, I wouldn't lowball it, I was just.
Well, no, what I mean is if like, let's say, because when I came up with like 74,000, when I did it by hand, I just the hover and did it by hand, I came up with 74. You're saying it's 102. When I ran it on hover, it was 101,929. When I did my hover estimation, which is fucking within a couple hundred
Well, I
bucks.
did
of
it
what
on
you-
hover, but I subtracted out the siding part, and then I manually added in.
That's exactly what I did.
Okay.
That's 100% what I did. So.
Yeah, I came up to 102 something.
Yeah, so that's what I left, that's the price that I left him with, and then he was like, oh, fuck, you do decks, and so I I did his deck too, and you know, that's at like 33,000, so, you know, man, just trying to fucking get something on the goddamn board. Minus 40% is 61 plus, was that 61, 32,000 minus 32,000 minus 20%.
Do you guys got your roof back? Have you eaten? Do you guys need a break for lunch?
I'm honestly good.
I'm gonna wait till after work.
Okay, we can get out a little early or whatever and then just break it or whatever. We'll grab that roof back. Let's go through it start to finish.
Yeah, and I also want to see our survey again, because we did do the survey again that the customer left us. I know that's in there and I didn't,
Oh, yeah.
I want to see what they wrote.
We'll grab that. I gotta make a phone call real quick and then I'll be back in, but start going through that and go through the company story and the pitch. And then we'll go through the survey here.
So you have
And then real quick before we go, can I just get the price for the window trims and add it to it and be good? Or
What price are you at?
I sold it for 20, hold please. Cause based off of your email, it sounds like I might be able to just do the trims. I
I'm
wouldn't,
showing with everything the bottom to do is like 28.7.
with the windows? Cause I sold it for 22,530 with the windows. The windows retail, I think, was like 10.5. Oh, actually, I have it right here. 10,962 for the windows. So we are going off of today's pricing, those two.
Well, we have to. I mean, we have to go off of what we can do the job for. So I got removing and reinstalling. I just went off of our costs.
Okay.
So I got the siding estimate in there, I got the gutter estimate in there, and I got the window estimate.
Okay.
So we need to be at like 28.5,
28,
and that's for you to get a couple bucks in there too.
28.5, and is that including the window trims?
That's including everything that we had on the original contract.
Okay, so I need $6,000. Now, if they don't do the window trims, that means I would need about $3,000. Oh, man. Oh, my God.
Did you wanna do the, price conditioning? One day this week still?
When I had the meeting, yes,
Okay, what day is that?
Mondays and Thursdays, but I think we're talking about cement this Thursday.
Okay,
We might have time, I don't know.
well, let me know.
Okay.
I'm just gonna use the money.
Make this phone call.
22,600. Oh. Well, shit. Cost with 17 window trims. 17 window. So, okay.
More you guys talk about Hardy in here, man, it just makes me keep wanting maybe just double down on starting a Hardy board company, because I know how to do all the installs and all that other fun shit, and it just seems like it's expensive, people want it and they can't get it, so.
It's not that they can't get it, it's they can't afford it.
Also,
Fucking
it's
job
still
$102,000 for that. $102,000, and that's not doing Hardy trim, Hardy anything, that's
That's what
aluminum
makes-
fucking soffit, it's
Yeah, and
insane.
honestly, the only time I've done Hardy board has been on commercial buildings, because most of the time they got a
Yeah.
$500 million budget.
Uh-huh. All right, I got too much to do. No leads today, and I got too much to do.
I'm looking forward to it.
Shit. It'll get to the point, man, where it's like, holy shit, what do I do? You almost need to like, put all the names in a jar and stick your hand in there and pull them out one at a time. To
Who's first?
Do first. Like I said, I mean, it's almost 2:00. I've been here the whole time. I still have to quote out these three kitchens.
Looking back at this, these customers rated The importance of license and insurance, only a 5.
Yeah. It's because they're fucking idiots.
Well, that's because they were having their fucking nephew come do it for $3,000.
This shit cares if you're doing it that way.
The only thing they really cared about 10 out of 10 was proper ventilation and the price.
I just found out I had these in my car.
You know what? I guess I could have
Fucking game
probably,
changer.
could have definitely used the bottom portion of this sheet against them.
I'll see you guys.
All right, man.
Thing.
She was a fucking headache.
You ever seen the movie Grown Ups?
Mm-hmm.
So like, I couldn't think why that lady looked so fucking familiar.
Her laugh kept fucking me up when she
And I
was
was
like,
watching, I was watching Grown Ups last night. You remember the old lady that David Spade was dating in that movie? Dude, it's a fucking image of her, dude. I'm sitting there laughing my ass off because we were sitting there. I was like, why does this lady look just so absolutely familiar? I think it has to be that. I think it had to have been that where I was getting my look-alike comparison from.
"Want some?"
No, I'm
Share size, bro.
Share size.
That's perfect. I figured that out a lot with how I transfer from these pages and shit. I start talking about, how attic ventilation is your most important part. Here's some examples of that. With improper ventilation comes water. With water comes what?
Yeah.
And then I'm able to transfer right into there now. Which before I was getting stumbled like I was talking about the ventilation, then I was like mold. I'm gonna get a roll of the Owens Corning fucking underlayment, and I'm gonna have some grandma that I know who's real good at stitching and sewing.
Yeah.
Make me like a fucking jacket out of it. So when I walk into the appointment, take my jacket off, it's the underlayment jacket, boom, set it on the chair. Be like, yeah, it was raining out there. This one keeps me completely dry. Speaking of my jacket keeping me completely dry, do you know what your underlayment is? With Owens Corning, it is actually my jacket. Damn, I might start using that punchline. I didn't even realize it said in our pitch. Trust the grip of the Shernail strip. That's a bar.
Thank you for calling our credit union line. Calls may be recorded for quality assurance and training purposes. Carefully for menu options. To report a lost stolen debit card, debit card questions about your debit card, press 2. For telephone banking, press 3. To make payment arrangements, press 6. For routing and transit numbers or to hear our office hours, press 7. For our company directory, press 8. All others, please press 0 to speak to the next representative. Please enter your member number. If you don't know it, please stay on the line. Your feedback is important to us. Please feel free to stay on the line after your call for a brief survey about your interaction. Thank you for calling our credit union. This is Nicole. Can I help?
Hi, I was just wondering if Jeff Foster is gonna be in the office today?
Give me 1 second and I just want to double check, okay?
Okay.
Yes, he is in today. Actually, he is at lunch right now.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna be in there at around 4:30ish, and I was just kind of hoping to sit down and talk with him for a little bit today. So I don't.
Okay, yeah, no appointment needed.
Oh, okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Yep, bye.
I'm fucking beat.
How was it shooting your gun?
Oh, dude, that's fucking sweet. I got a video. I'm gonna show you it.
Fuck it up.
Huh?
Fuck it up.
That's so sweet. It's fun. It's got like no recoil to it.
I noticed
It's like the
that.
only AR I've ever shot where I can shoot it with one hand.
Still stumble every time at that cost versus value.
I'm starting to figure that out a little bit better. I've realized I was overthinking. You don't gotta like not as much explaining as like you're making your head think it is.
Yeah.
Kind of explains itself and really just lets them look. So it gives them an idea.
Brian, take off?
Yeah.
After me winning money, how to do that.
I have another question for you too, Dave. Pitch of a roof ever determine whether or not they could have edge vent?
Yes. Yes, if it's below a 212 or something like that, you can't, because then it'll back up. Cause it has a little bit of layer to it, so it lifts up at the very edge, so it'll like flatten it out. You won't run into that much though.
No.
All right, I'm not hearing much pitching. Pitch it up. Stumble through it. Do it again.
Stumble and bumble.
Stumble and bumble.
I got no problem going first, if that's what. I just have to send,
Sticking eyes on you, can't know what it can do.
yeah, it's for my son's disability. Gross January income.
All right, Ethan, roll through it.
Okay.
We'll just act like we got a video testimonial and just kind of make things up as we're going through it too. That definitely helps.
Okay.
I keep saying testimonial.
We are Rock Solid Exteriors, platinum preferred contractors through Owens Corning. Have you ever heard of Owens Corning?
I've not.
We are a full exteriors business, so these are some of our other partnerships. So we do siding, windows, just about anything else. Back on Owens Corning. Owens Corning was founded in 1938. They have over 15,000 employees spread across 26 different countries. Being this big of a company makes them a Fortune 500 company. Owens Corning is a company of innovation. They actually in 1938 invented the commercial fiberglass, which was a lighter, more durable building material. Fast forward to 1953, they actually helped invent the automobile body for the 1953 Corvette. In 1978, they created fiberglass shingles. Now, by any chance, do you know why they make fiberglass shingles?
No.
They were using asbestos, which was found out caused a lot of sickness, cancer, and other things like that. It was no good for the environment. Have you ever heard of the Pink Panther?
I've seen them.
They actually trademarked the Pink Panther. The Pink Panther is Owens Corning along with pink insulation. I'm sure you've seen it at Menards, Home Depot. And then in 2006, they created the Sure-Nail technology shingle. I'll touch base on that a little bit more in my presentation. Rock Solid, we are rated on the BBB, Angie's List, Home Advisor, Facebook, Google. We maintain A+ rating on the BBB, and then at least a 4.5 out of 5 stars on all other platforms. We're located right in your backyard, just north of Cass on Groesbeck and Mount Clemens. Rock Solid is a very community-based business. We love getting involved with all the kids and stuff. We sponsor Little League baseball teams and golf outings. We also like to get on channels 2, 4, and 7 and talk with the community, explain the products we're installing and why they're important for your roof and other projects. Proud sponsor of Angels of Hope. Have you ever heard of Angels of Hope?
I have, they're great.
Yes, they're a cancer foundation for kids. They actually donate 98% of their proceeds. I find this so cool because I just recently learned that you only have to give back 30% of your proceeds in Michigan. So they're basically doing the max. And Rock Solid actually gives a percentage of all proceeds from our jobs to this program. Licensing and insurance. We are fully licensed and insured. We hold a Michigan maximum of $2 million per occurrence. It covers you all the way around the board. If we're doing a roof and there's a nail in your yard and your neighbor's walking by and accidentally steps on it, you'll never be attacked for that. Certified through Owens Corning. We are certified in all their products, installing them, knowing how to market them, so on and so forth. Being a platinum preferred contractor, we hold a 5-star rating with Owens Corning itself. With being platinum contractors, though, we're often able to offer a little bit more than most, which would be our Platinum Plus guarantee. Do you by any chance know the difference between a warranty and a guarantee?
I guess I never really thought about it.
Your warranty is going to have fine print, which it's really to cover the company, when your guarantee is a guarantee. There's no fine print, there's no hidden fees, no nothing, it's all right there for you. With our Platinum Plus guarantee, we're able to offer a lifetime guarantee on all parts, labor, and materials. With that, we're also offer a 1-year money-back guarantee, so if you can find an apples-to-apples comparison to our company, we'll cut you the check for it and beat it by $100. Also, we offer free yearly inspections, so if we do a roof for you or siding, whatever the project may be, and a couple years down the line, or maybe even a couple months down the line, you got some questions about it or don't know if it's working the way you wanted it to, give us a call. It's nothing for us to come out and inspect it and keep you up to par so you know what's going on with your home. This is a magazine created for our Metro Detroit area to basically help homeowners understand what home improvement projects are going for. You can see here in our Metro Detroit area, roofing replacements going for around $20,000 right now. Just to give you an idea. Now here's some signs that you can see if your roof is going bad. You got ceiling spots, damaged flashing, that metal around your chimney that's bent or broken. The seals get broken, get in through there, missing shingles in a hole, buckling or curling shingles, blistering, algae growth, rotting. And these are all signs that your roof is going bad or has been going bad for a long time. Do you know what the most important part of your roofing system is?
Shingles?
It would actually be your ventilation. Without proper ventilation, heat rises, moisture gets trapped. If it's not able to be ventilated proper, then with moisture comes what? Mold.
Yeah.
Here's some examples of what improper ventilation can cause. Here you can see, I don't know what that could be in that vent. It's looking like a nest. How much air do you think is even getting out of that vent?
I don't know.
None. When moisture sits on your wood over time, you're going to start getting that mold and your black spotting. Also, improper ventilation can also mean too much ventilation. You don't want to overventilate. Do you know how long it takes for mold to grow in your drywall?
No.
24 to 48 hours it can take for mold to be spotting and coming through and starting to build in your drywall. With mold, I'm sure you know it's no good for you. It's actually highly dangerous and cause a lot of health issues. So if you are seeing mold, it's definitely a good sign to get on top of whatever it is causing that. For balanced attic ventilation, you got different things you can use. You need your intake, which allows air in, and then you have your exhaust, which helps that air escape. Here's some different examples of your intake, things you can do to get the air in there, and then here's some examples of how we would exhaust your roof. We have can vents, 750 can vents that would go inside your roof up towards the ridge to help exhaust, or we have what we call ridge vent, which goes from edge to edge on your ridges, covering them. Ice dams. So if the inside, piece of paper. So this is your house. What do you usually keep the inside of your house at?
About 70.
So if it's 70 in your house, and what does heat do? It rises. So if it's 70 in your house, now it's about 100 up here in your attic. You got snow up here. When this heat rises, it hits up here. Now, what do you think the snow does up here?
Oh, it's gonna melt.
It's gonna melt. And down here in your roof, it's still only 28 degrees outside. So inside your roof right here, it's still only 28 degrees. So now this ice up here is gonna melt. It's gonna come down here. It's gonna hit that freezing temperature again. And what do you think it's gonna do?
It's gonna refreeze.
It's gonna refreeze. So now you have a block of ice here. Now whatever's left up here is still gonna keep melting and puddling up right here. Now you have a pool of water sitting on your shingles, eating away each and every day, trying to find its entrance. And as we know, water travels the path of least resistance. So now when you have ice damming, your water comes that mold we were talking about. For your roofing system, there is actually, I skipped parts already. You got your shingles, you got your wood underneath, but between that you have your ice and water and your underlayment. And this would be 15-pound felt paper underlayment. I'll put it with this one.
Is that the paper?
Yes.
Yeah, it'll look easy.
So up here we have an example. We are in a neighborhood and we just seen it and snapped a picture of it. This company had to have put their felt paper underlayment down. It started raining, so they thought, we'll go get lunch and wait for the rain to bypass. Now when they get back, they start walking all over the roof, prepping everything. What do you think's happening to that paper?
Just soaking up all that rain.
Soaking up the rain. Now it's soggy. They're stepping on it. It's ripping. You think they're going to go back and retape all those seams and make sure their paper's all the way it should be?
I would hope.
Most of the time what they're going to do is they're going to slap a shingle down, look over their shoulder, make sure no one's watching, and start popping nails up there. Now that goes back to now you popped all these shingles on. Now you got moisture under there. They're going to have mold within a couple months. It's where I kind of messed up at. Yeah, I messed up because I should have already been explaining my packages and stuff. Because then it would have played into how I'm done.
And another thing I noticed Anthony does when he's setting up his roofing bag, he puts the Owens Corning underlayment.
He puts the packages together.
Yeah, he puts the package
So it's
together.
basically like three
So that-
package samples. I get it. I definitely want to do that.
So and it also helps keep him more organized in his bag. So it kind of leads him into the different packages he offers, but it also is stops him from necessarily going back into his bag to keep fishing for
Right, that's
stuff.
why, because then
Most of it's
I got quiet for a minute so I could find a piece of paper and shit. I definitely don't have all the packages just laid out with my paper, my notebook, whatever I need. Because once I start talking, I get in a flow and it's easier to keep talking, but once I get a moment of silence, then I gotta try to restart my thinking and get myself talking again.
Appreciate it, your turn.
Yes, sir. All right, so here at Rock Solid Exteriors, we're what's called, or I'll just restart right now. Here at Rock Solid Exteriors, we're what's called a platinum preferred contract with Owens Corning. Now, have you ever heard of Owens Corning?
I have,
You have?
yes.
Okay, so you know a little bit about them. They were founded in 1938, and with them came commercial fiberglass. Since then, they've grown into a fairly large company. They got 15,000 employees across 26 different countries, so they got a lot of volume. They're doing a lot of business.
Okay,
Are you into cars at all?
a little bit.
A little bit. So just fun fact about them. They actually designed the fiberglass auto body for the 1953 Corvette.
Oh, that's awesome.
It is. With that fiberglass really came a more lightweight, durable, weather resistant material. So it had a lot more exterior use. It could handle the weathers. Getting a little bit more into their company expansion. In 1978, they created the first fiberglass shingle.
Why is that?
Well, that's because around that time they were mainly using asbestos-based shingles. Now, don't get me wrong, they also had asphalt.
Right,
But at that time, like, people were really trying to innovate products, right?
right, right.
The best way to do that is to cut down health risk, cost, lightweight, durability, right? Fiberglass is gonna knock all those things out of the park. A lot of people have, a lot of people haven't, right? But the Pink Panther, right? I'm sure you've seen them on TV. They were big around that time. Or even if you've ever been in like Home Depot, Menards, Lowe's, I'm sure you've seen the Pink Rolls insulation. That's actually trademarked by Owens Corning. Another thing they did was they created a shingle back in 2006 that had something called the Sure Nail technology. And I'll be able to give you a more hands-on experience with that in a little bit. Digging a little deeper though, staying here, now let me ask you a question. How many roofing contractors do you think there are in Michigan?
I'm sorry,
How many roofing contractors do you think there are in Michigan?
5,000.
I have a boatload of them. There's actually gonna be 20,000 plus. All right, out of that 20,000 plus, Owens Corning selected 17 contractors to be platinum preferred. And there's only 5 of them locally. So our partnership with them really ties into directly into their product.
Really
Right?
exclusive.
It is. It's kind of a big deal because they're gonna give us different packages, which I'm gonna show you again in a little bit here. They'll give us different packages to where like we can give you a complete roofing system through Owens Corning, and there's actually gonna be a labor guarantee, a roof guarantee with that. And just to touch up on that a little bit with that credibility with them, I mean, we're also accredited across other platforms as well. Have you ever heard of the BBB?
Mhm.
A lot of people have. Now with the BBB, they're really gonna show you the good along with the bad. Also, across all of the review platforms, we're gonna hold a 4.5 out of 5 stars with most.
Okay.
And again, any issues you're gonna see, a lot of the time we try to resolve them.
Right.
We're big on that, right? Because that accreditation, a lot of people are gonna start by looking online. We
Right,
don't want them to
right.
see a bunch of bad reviews. So that's really important to us to make sure that we're not only meeting the expectations of Owens Corning, but the customer as well. Now, we are located right in Mount Clemens. We're just north of Cass on Groesbeck.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you've ever been over there, but we are also very affiliated with the community, right? We try to sponsor things like Little League Baseball, Little League Golf. On top of all that, we try to find ways to also educate the community on, common warning signs that something might be going on with your roof. So there's been times to where we've been on the local news stations and just kind of touched up on a little bit of information to kind of let the community know, when it might be time to start thinking about a new roof.
Right.
Now, what about Angels of Hope? Have you ever heard of Angels of Hope?
No, I have not.
Okay, well, they're actually a cancer foundation. I like to call them a cancer mission because they're giving back to more than just cancer, right? Because a lot of the times when families deal with this, they take hits on, their house.
they're on the
and
board,
lose a
right.
car, right? Well, they're actually going to really help fund those kinds of issues too. They're really about the family. Not only that, Rock Solid's going to actually donate a percentage of all of their proceeds to them. Nice thing about them as well is they're going to donate. I think I talked too much about Angels of Hope. Not that it's a bad thing, but yeah, exactly. So getting a little bit more into the building side of things, right? We are completely licensed and insured. And with our insurance, you're actually going to be covered up to $2 million per occurrence. The state minimum there is actually only 300,000. So we're really trying to make sure that you get that peace of mind while we're doing your project.
Right.
And that's even down to as far as, your neighbor walking down the street, step on a nail, they're not coming after you, your homeowner's insurance.
Call this Renee lady, right?
You're actually going to be covered directly through us.
Carl said we didn't pay.
Now, another thing I always like to ask people is, What do you know, like, what would you say the main difference between a warranty and a guarantee is?
I'm not quite sure.
Right? What I like to say a lot of the times is a limited warranty is for a very limited product.
Right.
With the warranty, there's gonna be stipulations. Now, on the back of our guarantee. Can you read the fine print there for me?
I'm gonna add them to the flow here shortly.
Right, so there is none, right? And that's gonna be your main difference. By then, we should have other people's warranties, which I did this at my house, even though we just had these. I had the Windows ones. I was able to say, now look at this. This is what, your warranty is gonna look like.
We activate our account and then we'll pay it.
It's a lot.
Have all the highlighted.
It's just telling you all the
I
things,
did, I got it.
Shit out of it, right?
just beating it up, right? Well, this is what I like about our guarantee we have to offer. These are your stipulations,
Else is gonna pay money.
right? There's none. So that's your key difference there, right?
So do you want
A
me?
lot of times they're only gonna warranty products because they know what's gonna go wrong, when it's gonna go wrong. And in the event that happens and you call them like,
You got that link?
my roof's all messed up.
We can see the login link.
9 times out of 10, they're gonna be outside of the parameters of this and you're gonna be left paying for a new roof. So it's kind of really important. And like I said earlier, the exclusivity of us being a platinum contractor, right? That's something that's earned, not given, right? They didn't just call us up, give us this. We had to also demonstrate to them that through and through, we can install their products up to their specs to make sure that the customer's always happy, Owens Corning is always happy.
Another link to that one.
And bringing up these warranties and guarantees again a little bit. One of the two main things that are gonna void your roofing warranty are actually gonna be ventilation and installation.
And I'll send you an invoice for the We Are Steers.
We are also completely certified when it comes to ventilation, so we're gonna keep you all totally up to date on that end of things too.
Invoice for that as well.
Cause it is important, anybody can go up there and cut a couple holes in your roof and say, hey, you're ventilated, but we wanna make sure that you're to spec exactly what your house calls for.
Automations and emails and shit like that, you'll be able to do all that shit to send through.
And back with Owens Corning, they also probably half the time audit our jobs. About once a year, they'll call us with those different random addresses that we've had. They'll audit us on those jobs and they'll actually go out and they'll inspect your roof just to make sure it's on par with what they do. We're actually gonna hold a pretty rock solid rating with them as well. We're gonna have that 5-star review.
So, and of course, their fucking pricing is fucking astronomical.
Talking about our personal guarantee, right? What you're gonna get with that is a lifetime guarantee on all parts, labor, and material. Again, you've seen the back of ours, right? There's no stipulations there. We're also gonna offer you free yearly inspections. With the weather we've had this past year, it's kind of crucial, especially spending the kind of money people spend on roofs to have peace of mind, right? So in the event after a year or two goes by, you're wondering how your roof's holding up, don't be afraid to give us a call. We'll come back out and give you that peace of mind. I know it's important, man. I just hate doing this part.
You don't even gotta spend too much time on it. Hey, this is a magazine article for a Metro Detroit area comparing what the price of home improvement jobs would cost and.
But I feel like this is to prove a bigger point than just,
No, yeah,
hey,
I
this
feel you
is a
there.
roof cost you $20,000 and make you look like an asshole real quick because they don't understand.
Right.
This is right where Anthony took the pitch from me. It's because he knew I was going to go into the list.
So what's your hang up?
Price conditioning.
Price conditioning. I get the process, right? And I truly, I believe in its power because it's really setting up the whole entire product side of things. But you seen me do it on Friday. Kind of looked like an asshole when I went into it.
Right.
Because I didn't do a couple things. I didn't do the making the list. And not only that, because I kind of let the customer set how my pitch was going to go just by the way they were portraying themselves. I kind of felt like I had to rush through it.
Right, their energy got contagious.
I think what I did with them is I brought up, like being in Home Depot. So I asked them, which I'm going to just take that route again. Have you ever noticed, like when you're in Home Depot or something, let's say any of the major hardware stores, a lot of the times you're going to see a list next to things. They'll have the display model of, let's say, a patio door, right?
Right.
And what you're going to see there almost every time is they'll have a little pamphlet on the side that's going to give you a list of people you can call. Hey, here's your typical prices, because that's how Home Depot operates, right? They're going to take the median range of contractors in the area. They're going to weed out all the bad ones, bring you the good ones, and then take their median price.
Right.
And that's what they're going
Right.
to present to you. And this cost versus value magazine is kind of going to do the same thing, right? It's just going to give you a general idea of what your home improvement costs are gonna be. And that's with them weeding out the bad apples.
I was figuring, what does it say for the square footage on there? Cause I feel like that's where I shoot myself. in
It's
the foot
30
too.
square.
Okay,
This-
cause
this
I'll
is
be like,
price-
this is the average price for your roof, and I'm saying that to everyone. Well, this person might have a 15 square roof, and then this person has a fucking mansion, and they're like, you know what I mean? So on the mansion, I'm like, it looks like 20,000 for a roof around right now, and then so now they're expecting like, oh damn, for this huge ass house, I'm gonna be able to get it for this number. I don't want to accidentally, you know what I mean? So I got to make sure I throw in your average square
And
inch.
I really like that because maybe it's just because I am a builder, but like being in Home Depot, when I look at what they charge people to put in a door, every time I'm like, holy fuck, dude, I'd do it for half of that.
Right.
So I kind of like using that as a model because like with our guy on Thursday or on Friday, him being a landscape guy, I'm sure he's found himself in Home Depot looking at a new washer and dryer and looking at installation prices, so, which is definitely something I gotta work on. So essentially what this magazine cost versus value is gonna do is they're gonna do exactly that, right? They're gonna come up with that median range. How do you think that? Oh, fuck. Kinda feel like I'd be beating a dead horse by that point in the way.
No, skip past this page and come back to it.
Yeah, but it's important, I'm here.
I'm saying when you practice that way.
Yeah. Cause I'm not really worried about what comes on from here, cause like, that's what I'm saying, that's where I start doing my connecting, I could start.
And if you start
pictures.
freezing up like that in front of homeowner, swipe the page and start talking about, you know, what you
Well, that's
start
what these
looking
guys are doing, and that's the problem, is most of these guys can't overcome the price conditioning, so that's kind of what scares me a little bit too, is the fact that these guys can't even do it, so, and I
No,
understand.
they're not, they're just skipping that
They're
page.
skipping it. I don't want to just keep skipping that page. We've broke down the importance of it. You're building value for so much from that page on. It's just, I'm slipping up on the not starting it out like a sleazy salesman, you know, like, oh, I'm going to show you a price. I'm going to try to justify this price. I'm
You
going
gotta
to
justify the magazine.
justify the magazine.
Okay, have you guys ever heard of remodeling magazine? Okay, build it up now. You often see it at Home Depot or Lowe's. It displays, you know, they have a display there. Basically, it's a, for our industry, it has the newest, latest, greatest technologies that are out there, whether it be products, different computer programs, or whatever the case is. Well, they keep, you know, you up to speed on what's going on out in the markets, okay?
Okay.
Well, every year they do, every November they do an issue called Cost versus Value. And it kind of basically is set up to give an average consumer like yourself an idea of how much that these individual projects may cost them to get their houses remodeled. Well, obviously, we're here for roofing, so we pull the roofing page. Okay, in the Metro Detroit area, what it says, and this is based on a 30 square roof. Okay, show them on the other page, Ethan, you were asking about how many squares and everything else. Based on a 30 square roof, the average in the Metro Detroit area says it should be about $20,000 as far as that's concerned, as far as coming up with the price. Okay, let me ask you, how many companies did we say were in Michigan alone?
Over 20,000, I think you
There's
said.
over 20,000 companies. Now, this magazine has a reputation at stake, right? They want to be able to provide accurate information when they're coming up with their figures and everything else to provide you, the consumers,
Yeah.
legitimate info. All right, so do you really think they're gonna if they're gonna come up with the average number of what it costs to put on a roof in the Metro Detroit area, you think they're gonna call upon all 20,000 of those companies?
No.
Okay? Why don't you think they would call all 20,000? Besides, it's very time consuming, but why else?
Cause you're still gonna have the people that are out there just trying to make money. They're gonna be price gouging or charging too little.
So basically what you're saying is that there's companies out there that, out of all 20,000 of them, that maybe if they just gathered the price from them, that'd be a little misleading
Yeah.
and not too accurate?
No.
Okay, so that's apparent. They're not gonna call all 20,000. So you probably agree with me when I said that there's gotta be a starting gauge.
Yeah.
Of certain companies that they wouldn't take any of their information on the low end, certain ones on the high end, right?
100%.
So what do you think would be their starting gauge? And now let's lean them, okay? Do you think they're gonna call upon companies that don't have license or insurance?
Sure.
Okay, now I'm gonna start making the list. I'm gonna write license and insurance.
And I like how you do that because that right there is literally what's stumping me. It's not the giving the price and making the model or describing it. It's just that's exactly what I'm not doing is validating what I'm showing them from the jump.
That's why I really wish on that thing, I wish there was a way, and I know it's not your fault, to be able to figure, because sometimes I'll have a question, but I won't have a question about my whole entire pitch. I just want to zero in on something. And I remember you had tackled it really hard for us. It's so hard to go through those videos and find the exact spot of what you were saying, like what I'm trying to get from you.
Hey, you know what we should do though? Ethan?
That's where if you find that one video, which is on the 8th, that's when I rolled through it that whole time. I mean, yeah, I gotta break them down, edit it, and label them and shit like that, but I went from start to finish all the way through.
Yeah.
So if you tag that one,
That was February 8th.
yes.
Okay, I want to
It
know.
would help you as well too for future guys you're training, because
Oh,
you
yeah.
could have a whole file of.
That's the plan. I have to break them down, edit them, label them, and then put them in an organized fashion to make it easier for you guys, so.
But I mean, I kind of noticed that even on Saturday is everybody in here has said they skip right over this page. And as soon as I was going through my pitch with Anthony and things were going good on Saturday, it was right at this fucking page that he took the iPad. Is because he knew I was gonna go into it.
And he didn't want you to freak him out and tell him the $20,000 price tag and come back.
But it's
But that's how I lead into it as far as, okay, they gotta build up the reputation. There's certain companies that they're gonna eliminate and not incorporate. Then I'm gonna give them the first one. I mean, obviously, let them know what I'm kinda looking for. They're not gonna pick on a company that's not licensed in the share, right? Write that one down. And then I'm gonna lead them asking the question, well, what about length of business? You think that might be important to them? Well, and then they say yes, but then you gotta justify why.
Yeah.
So the company that's been around 6 months or something, you think their information might be false, and it's worked out the most.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, half the companies are out of business, or 95% of them are out of business in the first
They could
year.
get us on.
You know why? So, and then break it, so that should
I'll
be
let you know as
important.
soon as I know.
Then
That
get all
gets
the
rid of the
important part.
sleazeball. Now I'm zeroing in on just where they're getting the information and not the sleazy roofers that are gonna, okay.
Well,
Your email that you use for Facebook, what is it? Which one? Just write down the.
for the one I had for my personal,
Yeah, so that's the one where you can actually access some of the stuff.
You want to save this? Yeah. The first one. I don't know if they want it or what.
That's it.
Okay.
Lynn H. 23.
So I'm gonna go from the Platinum Plus guarantee again, and then I'm gonna try to work on that. But this was actually the survey they gave us on Friday.
awesome.
Which I mean, honestly, I know most people aren't gonna wanna be assholes when I tell them that's my report card, so I kind of expect most customers to write 10s across the bottom. And after
So
looking,
now, wait a minute, how can you give me a 10 on price when you haven't seen the price yet?
honestly, once I seen that, because I didn't look at it when the customer, and that was one of my fuck ups with the survey, is I didn't look back at it because I could have used that survey like a motherfucker against them. Like, you think, this insurance isn't that important. I seen you got that up top, but then, you marked our insurance down here as great, like,
Well, remember too, they didn't know
they didn't know.
that was that important until you explained it to them. Now,
Exactly.
they saw it all and they appreciate that stuff, like, so you gotta be careful that, like, now you're not insulting them because they
Right.
put it up front. But now that you see everything going on, obviously you see the importance of having license and insurance and.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they gave you 10s across the board, including the price.
Yeah.
So at that point, I would turn to them and go, okay, so let's get this thing on the schedule.
Yeah.
Did you wanna go cash or finance it? Well, what do you mean? I gotta get other estimates. Why do you gotta get other estimates? You rated my product, my company, everything 10s, and you even rated my price at 10. So
Yeah.
getting other estimates is gonna achieve what?
Looking for a 9 in price.
Yeah, and you want it to be more expensive? Cause I've had a 0 at the end of it or whatever. So, but then that's where you get it accurate. Okay, well then on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate my price? Obviously you put it down there, you
Yeah.
want to, I'll probably a 7, maybe you can draw the number out. But
Yeah.
that's awesome. But if they do give you all 10s like that,
Yeah.
even for the price, yeah, beautiful. Let's get this thing on the schedule.
Yeah.
Well, what do you mean? Well, you gave me 10. You love it all. Let's fucking get this thing done.
You love it all.
Right, and then you got their objection,
Yeah. Fucking great learning experience.
I'm happy I know that was February 8th now. I've been trying to find that part for a minute now. I can't
I'm
remember.
telling you, it's February 8th. It's the second video we did.
Okay, so now that I was able to go through the Platinum Plus guarantee with you a little bit. What I'm gonna show you here is actually a page out of what's the magazine called? I know this page is cost.
Remodeling magazine.
Have you ever heard of a magazine called Remodeling Magazine?
Yes.
Okay, so you've heard of them. So what they're really gonna do in there is they're gonna show you like some price snapshots of, what your general home remodeling costs are gonna be.
Okay.
And just like I mentioned earlier, with there being 20,000 plus roofing contractors in Michigan, when they're making a list like this, what do you think goes into that? Like as far as the companies that they're gonna price check, I guess you could say.
The better ones.
Right, the better ones. So if like you were to, let's have a starting criteria. Like what about review base and all that? Would you?
So he's backing up one step when he says the better ones, because you might get that, okay? How do you define the better ones?
Okay. So
Let's break that down now. You're
Yeah.
right, I agree, it is the better ones. What defines the better one? What is the shitty one?
okay.
Which ones are we eliminating? Then go into
Yeah, so like what
That's
Tim's saying
perfect
about
thing. If he says the better ones, okay, well, let's define the better ones.
Yeah.
You think they're gonna start with like license and insurance? You think that's gonna be important to them?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Now you start coming up with the
we can go through the
checklist together.
criteria of what, yeah, okay.
What's considered a better one, and then come back, like you said, they're picking the better one.
Yeah.
You're the one who's gonna hire these companies to do the one, wouldn't you wanna pick a better one that's actually gonna be contracted out by you?
Yeah.
So you're gonna use the same criteria too, and then you know, piggyback it together. So yeah, if you get that, that's fucking great.
So now you've said the better ones. Now what kind of criteria would you like set up when you're picking a better company, right? Would you just say like reviews, review
License and
based,
insurance.
license and insurance? Could you think of anything else? What about
Maybe
like
how
years
much
and,
work they're doing?
oh, there you go. So let's say volume of work. What about like years in business?
Yeah, I'd probably say 6 to 10 years.
Cause you know, most companies, they fail within the first year. So it's always important to do your reading on them. Okay, so essentially this is what that magazine's gonna do, is they're gonna create a list like this because they also have a reputation on the line. So they're also gonna weed out the bad apples and they're gonna give you a solid median price here. And it's saying that here in Michigan, you're looking at about 20,000 for a 30 square roof,
Okay.
which again, that's gonna be your median. Now, I'm gonna point out a couple of these things that I actually saw up on your roof, but these are some just other common warning signs that you might be able to see from curbside that would be giving you, you know, some warning signs that some stuff's going on with your roof. Some of it's like the damage flashing, which everybody's seen that ugly bottom part of their chimneys, right? Most of the
Right,
time it's
right.
all different colors and gobbed up with caulk. A lot of the times there'll be cracks there, water getting through. Missing shingles, that's gonna be a more obvious sign. And then like buckling and curling, that could have a couple different causes. Most of the time, that's gonna be poor ventilation. Blistering as well, algae growth, sitting water, things of the such. Missing granules, rotting. Some of those are more obvious than others, but getting a little bit more into the ventilation. I know we talked about like the warranties earlier, and I mentioned a little bit how proper attic ventilation is gonna be one of the things that actually void most warranties for a roof.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna paint a little bit of a picture, cause your attic is a lot like your bathroom after you take a shower, right? Now let's imagine your roof has no intake, no exhaust. It's gonna be a lot like your bathroom with the door closed, window closed. It's all steamy in there now, right? So with your exhaust, let's imagine you open a window. Where does most of that steam go? Like, how does your bathroom look after that?
A little bit better, not all the way.
Yeah, right, a little bit better. So essentially that window is gonna be your exhaust, whereas with your roof, you're either gonna have some cans up there or you'll have a ridge vent. And that's gonna kind of help that heat escape, right? But without another force acting upon it, you know, how much is really going out? So let's say you open your bathroom door as well. How's your bathroom usually look after that?
Cleared up almost instantly.
Almost instantly, right? And that's really gonna act as your intake. You start getting that constant circulation of air, and it's really gonna help free up a lot of that moisture in there too, because a lot of the times when you have sitting moisture, mold's gonna come, right? Especially in a dark place like your attic, doesn't get a whole lot of light in there. You're gonna
Right.
get that mold growth. I know I mentioned earlier with that buckling of the shingles here. Here's a couple of examples of that. You can kind of see here, that almost looks rotted as well. Over here, you can really see the buckling of it. And now this is a fairly large roof. I only got 2 vents up there. You know, there's no way that's properly escaping through that. And the reason why we have to be certified is because you can also have too much ventilation.
For a 10 by 20, but then they don't have any.
Like you're gonna see in this photo here.
So just like, they have a couple of random.
You know, even with the proper intake, you can have still too much exhaust, right? Like here, I like to explain to most people, all you're really doing there is you're distributing the heat more than you're actually ventilating it.
And she said that she could do it for 1,800.
And then another thing is too, is a lot of times people will try to pair ventilation systems, right? They think that they're doing the customer service, so they'll give you your ridge vent. I'll explain that to you in a little bit. And then they'll give you a couple cam vents, but what happens is they actually start to fight each other.
Is there any help or something?
Sure.
Because at which point in this picture here, you just have hot air fighting hot air. not really doing you a whole lot of good. Again, with that sitting moisture, you know, a lot of the times you'll go into an attic, most people haven't. When's the last time you've been in your attic?
Moving close on the house.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of people don't go in there after that point. So you could have moved in there not even knowing what was really going on in there.
Happy links. Saw the pictures.
I'm talking about that mold a little bit. Do you know how fast mold grows on drywall?
Huh?
I don't have a lot of for that.
All right, well, are we using company hand product decking links? So then we should be able to pull the pictures.
So a lot of people don't know this, but
Right?
generally speaking, once moisture starts hitting drywall and it sits, it only takes 24 to 48 hours for that mold to start growing and spreading.
Oh, wow.
Okay. After-
Which isn't a whole lot of times. And a lot of times once your drywall gets to that point, it means you've already had issues up there.
Right.
Obviously, unless, you know, a tree branch fell on your roof, poked a hole through, now you got running water. But a lot of times when people see this, it's from sitting water. So you'd be surprised what's actually on the other side of what you see in
Up in
pictures
there,
like
right.
this. I mean, even ceiling tiles, there's not many things that water can sit on to where mold ain't gonna grow.
Right.
Especially when it's cold and dark,
So you can look
warm and
at
dark.
the other side, other side. Ah.
Now here, what I'm gonna show you a little bit is just,
You see how they've got.
actually got one for you here in my bag, which we
Splash
don't. But this is what's actually called an edge vent.
guard.
It's mainly for houses that don't have the soffits, which luckily for you, you do. The soffits look pretty well ventilated.
Sealed.
So I don't necessarily think edge vent is gonna be a product that,
We
Does
are.
that pertain to you too much? but I did notice that you only had 4 750s up there,
So if you
which
look
was that
right
vent I
there,
showed you in the last post that had the
Right.
bird's nest in it. So you have 4 of those up there.
just
And you do have, like I said, you got a lot of intake, which isn't
that little
bad.
fancy,
But I'd like to get you into something a little bit more
you know,
advanced.
So I got a lot of
like,
intake, but not enough
seal that
exhaust,
down
essentially, is what
again,
you're
But
saying.
we're still gonna.
I wouldn't say that.
Right?
More or less what I would say is there's a better way of doing it.
So what do these sell?
Because with that rising heat,
So I am
It's kind of
exhausting
weird.
properly right now then?
Gutter guard, like 33 feet of gutter guard and like 12 feet of gutter.
could always be better. With having only 4 cans up there, if I was to stay on the route of using cans, I'd probably add a couple more. But again, what we'll do for your house exactly is we'll come up with an exact formula right where you need to be.
Okay.
So however they came up with what's up there, who knows? They could have just cut 4
It
holes in your
looks like
roof.
We're just
Right.
sealing it with like.
But actually at the ridge of your roof, we got something called ridge vent.
20 was the one you
Yeah,
said was
but
like
that's the
213.
thing.
And it'll eliminate those cans altogether. Right, it'll get rid of that eyesore right off your roof.
Because they let it drain out, right? Instead of putting a downspout right there.
There's a
right?
top view of that bird's nest photo I kind of showed you the other
317.
couple pictures ago. That's what they look like from the top. It's gonna be your most common
Okay.
in newer homes. And then over here in this picture, this is gonna be your ridge vent.
Right, because normally.
I'm sure you've seen it on the top of roofs. You probably wondered why it steps up a little bit.
I would think that we probably just replace the splash and put in a different one. You know, new one on the angle and then re-pocket seal that.
Ice stamps, I know all about ice stamps, you don't have
Or
to
we
be
can replace them.
Right, so with you being from Michigan,
We're repairing.
I know you've seen the ice behind the shingles.
Properly repaired.
Many
I don't
times.
think just.
A lot of the times you'll have the whole entire top of the roof is clear, but then you look down near the bottom and you got some ice and some snow sitting there.
Right.
Discuss this with Brian and all of the.
I asked.
And that's because like there's on top of the ventilation and all that, there is a couple different things that will go into your roofing system. Now, what do you think when you think of putting a new roof on?
And how are we gonna be able to caulk? Something like that when it's.
You know, like, you know,
So I'm the ADD as well.
you're good. So like,
So that.
when you're getting a new roof installed, what do you really think goes into it, right? We know we got shingles.
Like a day like today.
Shingles, my, wood underneath,
Yeah, you got your wood underneath. Well, we actually,
those vents that you told me about now.
there's a couple different products. What I'm gonna touch on with you right now that goes into it, as well as something called ice and water shield. And in this picture here, you see ice damming. I'm gonna explain that to you a little bit more. And the products that we can offer you to kind of help you in the event that you're having this issue with your house. Essentially what ice damming is, right?
Yeah, just leave something I'm gonna draw on.
Another thing I wanted to bring up, in case we get a cocky customer, I think we should drop this number.
So there's a slight price
Talk to you a little
increase and they're working.
Well, it's not gonna be
on
no
it.
colder than
I
it is
just need to
outside,
know how to
probably.
write this
Well,
up
no,
to
but if,
stock.
that's what I'm saying, just if you have a
Yeah.
number and they say, well, at 28 degrees,
Just, reseal.
you think it's gonna refreeze in the blink of an eye,
Right.
you see what I'm saying? So I'm thinking about
So
maybe
just for
dropping
a
that down to
demonstration, be like, if it's 10 degrees.
10
out here,
degrees outside. That way it just gets rid of
Yeah,
that
it's like,
cocky.
okay, it'll instantly
Because that's
freeze
what I
it.
think with people, because I know a lot of us keep writing 28,
Right,
27,
it's
and I'm like,
instant freeze factor.
I'm like, nah, dog, it ain't gonna freeze that quick. Like maybe
Right.
behind the gutters, I still think that'll happen, but So essentially, this is your house, right? And on the inside, what do you usually keep your house at?
72.
72?
Instagram, I sent you.
Nice and toast.
I printed out. I'm sure.
I can't do it. It gets my sinuses going. I generally like to keep it, that's neither here nor there. Now generally, heat rises, right? That's what we've all been led to believe. So heat goes up. A lot of the times without proper ventilation intake, that heat actually grows, right? So let's say you're 100 up here. You got snow up on the roof. Let's get a nice cold Michigan temperature outside. Let's call it 10 degrees.
Okay.
So 10 degrees outside, you got 100 in your roof. Now, what do you think's happening with that snow?
It's melting.
It's melting down, right? A lot of times in your attic, you're gonna have a dead space right here.
It's my
Okay.
overhang, okay.
Right, which would be your overhang. A lot of the times you get that dead space right there, it's not gonna hold that same 100 degrees, right?
Right.
So let's say over here, you're matching closer with that 10. What actually, like, what do you think is happening now once you get down to this 10-degree part of your roof?
It's gonna refreeze.
It's just gonna refreeze. So I'm gonna just draw you a little ice block right here. Now, we still have this little void, right? A lot of the times what's gonna happen is it might not be getting to the point of freezing, but now even worse, now you got pooling water.
Right.
That water's just sitting. Another thing we also know about water is it's gonna actually follow the path of least resistance.
Right.
I like how you do that. That water's just gonna follow that path of least resistance, and which is kind of what you're gonna see here.
I know we got Chasley's back, right?
Which this is where that water,
Drop that off at Steve.
it's been sitting, soaking up into your plywood, doing nobody no good. You get that mold growing. And they actually do have products, right? It's something called Ice and Water Shield, which I'm gonna show you in just a quick second here. They actually got do products for it, right? But code is only 3 foot.
Okay.
So when looking at your incline of your house, I mean, how far up is 3 foot gonna get you? I like this picture because if I had to guess, I'd say 3 foot's only getting me to about
For me to
right
respond.
here, right?
Right before where it used to
Looking at the
be.
pitch, and that's the whole problem with that whole scenario, is you're still getting issues in areas where your roof is gonna be uncovered.
Okay.
So it's really important to understand like what's going into your roof because of that.
Right.
Now, another step of that process is gonna be your underlayment. We got a couple of different options for this too, but upon showing you this picture out, I wanna give you a little bit of a hands-on experience. Right? So this is what you see on that roof in there. That's called tar paper. They're gonna use that in obviously code situations. That's the bare bones minimum they gotta put on your roof. Will you try to take that for me?
Yeah, that's shitty.
That's shitty, right? And this is gonna be your first layer of defense after your wood.
Okay.
And so like this is, this is your defensive line. Like how important do you think this is to your roof?
I would say very,
Very
especially
important.
off the demonstration.
Yeah, if I need you to do a favor, so plug these in, the chargers real quick, these two. And on this piece of paper, just write your name and email address on there. Once it's charged up, we're gonna log these into your guys' account.
So Nate, all these 10x20s are available?
No. The only one she has available is,
We're finally getting our.
316 and 318.
Can download our
About When I
apps.
circled,
That's what I'm talking about.
right here.
I don't gotta use Safari for everything. Where does he want us to write our stuff at?
Honestly, I was really thinking about that, so I didn't listen to it.
Where do you want us to write and where at? I'm sorry.
They're not next to each other though, obviously. Yeah, 410, that's in the middle of two other ones.
316, 318's open?
Yep. For 18.
So just write your email. And
That is the right entrance. They're closing that entrance over there.
I'll do the first part of it, guys, so.
That's the main one.
This is Matthew Chapman. I just missed your phone call regarding my account. My cell phone number is 586-256-8657.
bunch of,
If you could please call me back. Again, my name is Matthew Chapman,
Four of them, yeah.
586-256-8657. Thank you very much. Bye.
They have 103, which is over here, right when you walk in. 402,
That's not gonna do good.
which is
Do I need-
also close
No,
to
it's
the entrance, but they're all in between, and then there's
oh, there's
602.
no corners,
No,
that's what you're saying?
yep.
Right, so this is rock solid.
I have my kids, so I can't work.
Levi,
with
it's
them,
Levi Moore,
but Caitlin
all
said she
lowercase,
works in
one
Morrison.
word.
Jason and Kayla are good for all weekend.
Levimoore.
I don't know if that matters to you.
Just hit join, Once it's joined on there, it'll move forward. They'll activate it and.
They said
couple
9:70.
seconds. Well, I think that one might be
something.
activated already, or that one. This
I'm
one's
sure
still-
last minute we could probably come down $200. I don't know.
Yeah, I like.
You guys can do the touch ID, I don't give a shit.
You like 10 by 20,
It's up
right?
to you guys, but,
Yeah, 'cause I've seen about
Password,
different
actually,
smaller ones, but they're in the
I
middle.
don't care
Yeah, I
what
don't think
password
it's
you
big enough to do
do.
that.
Generally, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
So we'll have to-
but you guys change it, just send me an email, let me know.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep the access when everyone else's is. I don't wanna forget my shit.
Looks like.
Well, I have access, once these ones are on,
Okay.
I can actually change it, but I used to
Yeah, I
not
do
be able
too.
to.
You got
But now I
that.
have a new device to
Going
be able
through
to do it,
there,
but
Continue.
it's still
that
easier to
way,
keep
and
it
that
set.
way.
Don't transcribe some data.
I would set it up, it's easier to set up touchscreen, honest truth it is. You'll have to do crazy shit.
You know what I learned about Apple products?
As of right now,
When
no.
you're doing, I learned with Apple products, your fingers are so similar. If you do one touch with your left hand and do it with your right hand, it'll pick up both of your things at the
Well,
end.
you can set up more than one.
Is it gonna have me sign up with my iCloud?
No, you don't want to.
On Saturday morning.
You're gonna say,
Do not.
do not, just don't transfer apps and data.
Thank you.
So,
Very good, yeah.
like, you don't have one,
There's a drink too? Yeah, it's in there.
you're gonna use your email,
I like your hair.
your work email.
Okay.
So the times are what on Saturday?
10 to 6. And Sunday 10 to 4. I might be able to get a babysitter on Saturday, but I can't say for sure. If I do, probably like 5 hours.
And then Jason's ski
This one
available
is just-
weekend?
Yep, I just have to make sure before I even set anything.
Alright. Caitlin can only do what?
She could do Sunday and Saturday morning. Until like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. She's got Molly's baby shower.
Oh, wait.
Why did they give me a fucking bottle pop?
You wanna use.
Disgusting.
So she can do what, 10 to 1?
I'm setting my own password.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I said, why, she didn't, I know, it shouldn't have affected it, cause we worked all
Usually
day.
it's.
I honestly, I've been trying to get her stapled too.
Fucking strange.
I asked her, I go, when's the baby shower? She goes, 2 or 3. I'm gonna say, well, which one is it?
And just go with
Usually
the
know what
phone number
it
that
is.
it's giving me on here.
No, change the phone number to 586-461-2353.
461
Yep, 586-461-2353.
Which I'll just cut their hours, or, you know, just during the week this week, and I'll cover whatever for them.
Right.
What did I say?
It says it's been used too many times.
Fucking man, and that's.
Exactly. If it's anything like the fall one too, it's, you know, it's steady, but it's not like that, no, it's, you know, not like it's super busy. This here was so fucking late on leave, but I hate not to do it.
Yeah.
I told her we'd call her back by the end of the day.
Once I get this whole fucking thing set down.
Carla says she's got stuff going to her junk mail. That's why she hasn't been
586-854-0653.
passing messages.
854.
0653.
Alright, then, yeah, let's grab that corner one,
Okay.
and then we'll figure out the scheduling and shit like that afterwards, but most of that is set.
Yeah.
We just gotta figure out what we're gonna put in it. What we do-
429, oh
Yeah.
shit, sorry, it's not 429.
Should I
Where would
write
you
down
put
my-
the 10 at?
492-917, no.
Like right in the corner and then open it up at the wall down. Oh, you're really good at setting these up, right?
Just keep.
I usually,
this-
until I walk in there, I mean, I try to get an idea based on the
Yeah.
floor plan, but then it's like, where's the
Put that
traffic
number
coming
in, so.
What
We used to have a
booths are in front of
tablecloth
us?
and a bounce house, that's all.
Yeah.
It's not my, I'm sure I'll, you know, catch on with watching you and stuff, but yeah, as of right now, I don't leave.
854-0653.
Like trash.
854.
0653.
I mean, no matter what, even if I can't work it, I'll go up there with my kids just to make sure that they're, you know, working. I'll take a ride up there. I don't-
425-667.
I've been going through all the shows, just seeing what time it is. The next Novi one, thank God I don't have them that weekend, I'm good that entire weekend. And then
But the weekend before, Pontiac, then you.
that's when I think that I can't, yeah. I could originally until they changed it. Which I might be able to, now things are settling down.
You can accept mostly everything. You can set up however you guys want. I don't really care about that.
We'll do it later.
So the first thing you want to do is go to the App Store real quick. This is the most important thing that you want to set up. That
Alright, yeah, just
email,
lock that one in, make
Actually,
sure she puts it in.
email is probably the first thing you guys want to set up. After you set up the app, so allow while using the app.
Give me the information.
Then this, once you start, so type in Outlook or under the search, install that.
If she wants to just give me a quick.
It's gonna ask you to review. So go to your app store real quick. So go to click on the review button. So you wanna input the, once it's gonna take 2 seconds, couple seconds for that to load. So click on that, yes, agree to terms, next. So go to the app store, search for Outlook. And then just, obviously your name's in there, just put this address here, so it's 102 North Grossbeck Highway. Just put N, Grossbeck, HWY. Spell or type out Mount Clemens, Mount Clemens, for the city.
Why did they do that?
So review. So click accept, next. Same thing with this one, you have to go to street 102 North Grossbeck Highway, 102 N, Grossbeck, HWY, spell out Mount Clemens for the city. The zip code is 48043. The phone, put in 586-461-2353.
I guess the state matters. What's the zip again?
48043.
Phone number 586.
461-2353.
You said 2353?
Correct. State probably. Oh, you got this one again.
I mean,
I need to add
Let's go back to. I should be.
verification email.
461. 2353. I don't know why it's no. Oh. This is not gonna work. So we gotta go back. No, capital N. No, just the N, capital N.
Can I have her name?
Space.
Oh, okay,
Capital
thank
G. Capital G. Space. And then capital H. It's a small building, it's gonna line up. I don't know why this one didn't work, but. This is gonna be. Phone number, I'm not sure why that's.
Hi, Renee, it's Amanda again.
I'm gonna tell you the number to put on that one.
We're gonna take the 360.
Clemens is good, so go click back on the phone and then type in. I'll give you 4, which would be.
Mm-hmm.
854-0653.
854.
Not sure why that one's not working.
Yeah, Dave and myself, but me and Dave.
All right, so,
Yeah.
so once you get that one, install that Outlook and then we'll run through that one. I'm sure it's not that hard. It's usually, it's pretty easy to sign in. Just use your regular sign in.
Yes, please.
Oh, Christ. Let's do this real fast. It's gonna,
Okay.
I know why this one's not doing that. This is probably, come on. This has to be updated.
You said by tomorrow, right?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, perfect. What is moving? Okay.
It's fucking 20 advance remaining. All right, so you have to just wait for that one. Just gotta install first before you can go any further. Once it installs that, update when we
Friday,
started,
25?
run through that review process, type in the information down.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
install
okay,
the
thank you.
app.
I'm talking to Dave too, sometimes.
And you can just start installing the apps that, Dave's gonna tell you to
All
install.
that we have on our phone already, probably.
Okay,
I just need then, that we don't have to ask you again, what's the phone number I use again? Cause I remember everything else.
Oh, so the two numbers,
understood.
it's either gonna be 586-461-2353. Or
It's American Express.
354.
2864 0481
854-0653.
Thank you.
1123
And let me see that piece of paper that you put your name on.
2844
Oh, that one right there.
I actually didn't put anything on here. What was it?
Just your,
4043.
just your name and your, that's all I need for your name. So.
No, I guess something would be badges and stuff, or we can get that when we move in.
You know, most companies just give you a shirt when you start.
We'll get 'em.
So for you too on this, you should probably also just double check and make sure that one doesn't need to be updated as well.
It's let me do everything up until this point. Now this circle's just a spin. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, there we go. It's starting. I'll wait until that one then.
So you could really go as early as 11 if you wanted to on Friday, because it's like one group's 11 to 2 and the other one's 2 to 5, so. An email, so by tomorrow it's done.
Oh, fucking pokey.
Okay. Okay, cool, thank you.
Jesus.
Thank you so much, yep. You're welcome. Bye.
There it goes. Okay, so. Not real fast for you. Just typing the email real fast.
Mm, ooh,
Oh, you changed your password for that?
maybe. Unless I wasn't supposed to, in which case I didn't. Do we have a generic?
Yeah, generic, it should be Roxelle1234. I don't really care if you guys change it anymore now either, because I can always reset it.
That's it. I didn't go manually change
So
anything.
let's just hit maybe later. I just want to make sure you're. I just want to make sure you're all the way up to date here. It looks like this one's up to date actually. It's just weird that one wasn't. No, then I'll do it too.
Yep.
So it'll probably take like 30 minutes for that fucking picture.
So there hasn't been any posts on here since October 1st.
On that one.
Yeah, we have series, yeah. There's been posts on the other one, but.
And there's 5 people who like this page.
We got that first day probably.
So we gotta send out
Well,
invites.
this is Matt.
No, I just liked it today, so you got for 4 maybe.
Hey, what's our rules and regulations on these iPads?
How you doing?
Rules and regulations.
Yeah, like,
Chronos.
I'm gonna look right now.
oh, you know, that I kind of assume, but I'm saying like, walking up to a customer's house, falls and breaks. Am I responsible for damages?
I mean, we got the insurance on them. So,
Okay.
I mean, we got them on there to cover our ass, but don't fucking drop.
Obviously, if I'm breaking it once every other week, I'm gonna have to probably fork over some cash, but I just kind of want to
As
know
long as I've been here, no one's broke one's out.
Last
That
time I
you've heard
started
about.
for a company, they gave me a dirty
that
t-shirt.
you've heard about.
True.
I got a dirty t-shirt last time I started for a company. This is pretty cool.
At least they could have washed it.
Dirty t-shirt.
Yeah, fuck Julian, he's an asshole.
Yeah, they just got a little bit of an update on my son's disability today too. You know, they denied me last time because I made too much a month and that my truck was too expensive. Well, now that we're going back through the disability process, they were like, oh, your truck's not even considered an asset. You still owe money on it.
You're trying to collect disability?
For my son.
Oh, okay. And your assets matter?
Yeah, because they look at they look at everything, like all of my income, they
It's
get,
not for you, it's for him.
that's my whole entire argument. And like we called the disability attorney that got my wife her disability, which they don't look at her disability at all. Even when she got her disability, like everybody's eyes are on me. What is he making? What is he spending? So they, when they denied us then, this time we call them, like I said, they're telling us that it's not even considered an asset because I owe money on it.
You don't own it?
No.
Right.
I don't get all that. We contacted a disability lawyer about it, the one that we used when we got her case, and they were telling us like, if you get denied for anything other than monetary, they'll fight it for free. But since it's a monetary issue, you're gonna lose 90% of those cases in court. So they were like, you can fight it, you can get in front of a judge and kind of try to plead with the judge on why you think you deserve it. But they said in the case that
What's
doesn't,
gonna be other than monetary?
well, that was the whole thing. But then they made me go through a 6-month process of like turning in paperwork, answering all these questions for them to approve him because of his disability. And then that's when they wanted all my bank account info. So I was like, you know how many tax dollars you're wasting when we could have started with this? Let's not even review his mental health issue. Let's go right through my money issues just to see if he can get approved there. This could have been a 2-day process. Instead, you drug it out for 6 months.
What, do you mind asking what your son is collecting for? Is that mental?
Yeah, he's got autism.
Oh, I have two of my sons are on the spectrum.
Really? Where do they fall on the spectrum?
I don't know, one's, highly,
Every doctor you talk to says something different.
yeah, it's different. My middle one, he's under a guarded diagnosis. Like medically, I couldn't get him diagnosed, but the school did because he has all the same,
Yeah, criteria.
exactly the same. I mean, if you met him, you'd be like, oh, he's
Yeah.
on the spectrum, but he, doesn't have a diagnosis, but I don't get a disability for either one. But people told me I could collect it for both, but yeah, no, my little one turns 4 tomorrow and he's still nonverbal.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. He's getting better with the talking and all that.
How old is
He's 4.
he? Really, you're a 4-year-old too?
He's getting a little bit better with the talking right now. We're really working on like around dinner time when he starts getting hungry, he always goes right for the snack. So I'm just instead of telling him, no, we're not having snacks right now. We're starting to do like the dinner first, then chips. So that's kind of helping.
Really big in the routine.
Yeah. So, but he's kind of really an oddball with a lot of it because he's not really big on routine or he's not big on change of environment, but he's smart enough to know how to get what he wants. So like he'll be in the grocery store, he'll be just fine. Just totally fine. But the second he sees a toy and he wants it and we say, hey buddy, we're not here for toys right now. Now he's laying on the ground, grabbing onto other people's baskets. And it's just an attention thing because he wants what he wants. So
That's any toddler.
our biggest problem with him right now is the aggression.
Yeah.
He's not angry and aggressive. He's just aggressive. Like,
Yeah, what's
he
up?
thinks other people are having fun.
Yeah.
I'll take my car right now. I just went and talked to him for a minute.
When's his birthday?
He's had a couple of quotes from him.
He's the June one. He's June 11th.
And my son turns 4 tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
So I'm already anticipating that he might.
Okay.
It's so common these days.
Is he verbal at all?
I want to know
What?
from your
Verbal at all?
perspective, when you know that he just
I mean, he'll
bought it,
say mom.
the real estate guy, he's probably gonna rent it out.
Do like nursery rhymes or any singing or anything like that? No. I at least had
Well, you're
that going for me.
I'm sorry, you're investing.
We just
for
started
risk,
ours.
right?
It's good.
Why?
$400 a day.
Make money.
That's what they're
Okay.
charging.
So this is an investment property, so you want to get as much out of the investment as you possibly can, correct?
Right.
So the idea is you want to hold on to this long term. So the last thing you want to do is end up putting more than one roof on it while you're holding on to this investment, correct?
Right.
So the cheapest roof I can give you is the platinum, because then you only have to do it once and you'll never have to do it again.
Right.
Okay, the last thing you want is to happen is your renter to call you up because the roof is leaking and now all of his materials and all of his, furniture and everything else is damaged because you neglected your roof, and then you have all the damage with the drywall. And let's be honest, man, I mean, as far as people being renters and stuff like that, they're not going up in the attic and looking out for you and in your best interest and stuff to make sure that if something is starting to go wrong, they're not gonna be bending over backwards to call you up and have you come out to their house and inspect this shit. They're usually only gonna call you when it's absolutely horrible and they can't live with it anymore. And at that point, you can imagine how much damage has gone on in the meantime. So the best thing, because
The original roof on the home has got 3 layers on it.
I don't give a shit how many layers it has on it. The idea is do it the right way and never have to fucking do it again. Now, if he was flipping the house, that's a different story. I would still go with that angle anyways, as far as the resale value and all that stuff. But, you know, get your lifetime product, and I just became a landlord with you. So if your customer, if your renter calls you up and says, I'm having an issue with the roof, you call us up, we're gonna come out there and fix it for free. You don't have to worry about it.
Right. No, it's good angle, so I wanted to pick it right.
Yep. So,
All right, I appreciate it.
no problem, man. Go get them.
Yes, sir. Bye.
400 a day, is that for in-home or at the facility?
At the facility, Henry Ford. It's really hard to get them in that. We got lucky.
Have you looked into the disability at all? Are you, well, not to be personal, are you single mom?
I am now,
You are now?
recently, yeah.
I'd look into it because with getting him on disability will open up a lot of insurances for things like that. Cause like we actually got somebody that comes to my house 2 days a week and we pay nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, that was one of the options. From what I understand, the in-center is a little bit more successful, but
Yeah,
either way, having him in something is important.
I think at home is horrible.
Yeah.
Because essentially what they're doing is they're following him around and meeting every single one of his needs. But they're also creating an unrealistic expectation of the child to the mother now, because now every time they leave, if we don't do exactly what he wants when he wants, it's just horrible.
All right, Ethan, your turn.
Huh?
Your turn.
Or you want me to do my pitch again?
Yep.
Practice makes perfect.
Wait, did you finish yours? I thought you didn't he came in with the iPad, that's why I didn't know you wanted me
Oh,
to
how far
finish.
did I
He was
get?
in the middle of his, but then he came in with these iPads and stuff and had to start punching in all of our info.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much, this is right where I would get to the whole, I just brought up the different materials that go into your roof. This page for me is kind of easy. It's more of like a conversation piece, kind of explaining to them that builder package beforehand. And then from here,
Start it all over. You got interrupted or whatever, you were going good. Just, Ethan, you started off. Give it a couple more times.
Sarah said she could work the show if we wanted her to. What do you think about that?
Peter.
Okay.
We are rock solid exteriors.
if you need a minute, just kind of brush through it, go for it.
I mean, I would think keeper is like a backup if somebody calls in.
No, it's not even that. I'm just so distracted now. We are rock solid exteriors. We are platinum preferred contractors through Owens Corning. Have you ever heard of Owens Corning before?
No, I kind of recognize that Pink Panther in the front of it though.
Owens Corning was founded in 1938. They have over 15,000 employees spread across 26 different countries. They are a Fortune 500 company. Owens Corning actually invented fiberglass, which was a lighter, more durable building material for contractors. They also helped in 1953 create the auto body for the 1953 Corvette, which is super cool. And then in 1978, they created the first ever fiberglass shingle, which do you by any chance know why they created that shingle?
No, I know you'd mentioned it was lighter, more durable, but I couldn't think of anything.
Asbestos they were using, and that was obviously no good for health. It's causing cancers and stuff. So, you had said you had recognized the Pink Panther. That is Owens Corning trademark,
Yeah, I've seen them on TV.
along with the
Yeah.
pink roll insulation, which you have probably seen at a Home Depot, Menards, Lowe's, something of that nature. And fast forwarding to 2006, I created the Sure Technology shingle, which I will be touching base on that more through my presentation. Reviews. Rock Solid is huge about their reviews. We like to be very transparent, so we do hold an A+ with the Better Business Bureau, and then maintain about a 4.8 out of 5 stars across Andy's List, Home Advisor, Facebook, Google, you name it. We probably have good reviews on it.
Oh, before you go too much further, Nate hit me with this, and since I've given a couple live to customers now, like the one with you, and I did it on Saturday too, I keep doing the same thing. Up to this point, we're not really informing them enough about, I guess, the importance of our partnership together. I know I need to keep doing that too, but
Right.
like, why it's important that we're platinum preferred.
Right, I guess I could be wrong. I thought you started
Just-
touching
just
base
a
on that
little.
more when you start talking about that guarantee, because that's what separates you from the rest. When you start talking about the
And I think
guarantee
what-
being platinum, we're able to offer this when others are not able to.
I think what Nate's main point with it was, is I think at this point already, we should have maybe already popped the how many roofing contractors
Right,
question there, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, once we ask, have you ever heard of Owens Corning or anything? And then maybe from there, just go,
yeah, I do
oh, we're
agree.
partnered with them. And that's just the
Right,
advice that Nate gave me that I kind of, since I've done it a couple times since, that I do find is kind of
no, I
important.
feel it for sure.
Yeah, just go to the next page.
And we're right in your backyard, located just north of Cass on Grossbeck in Mount Clemens. Rock Solid is very community based. We like to get involved with the kids, golf outings, baseball teams. We like to be involved with them. We also like to go on channels 2, 4, and 7 and give live seminars, just explain some of the products we're offering and what we can do with some of these projects. We're a proud sponsor of Angels of Hope. I don't know, have you ever heard of Angels of Hope?
I think I have.
They're a cancer foundation for kids and the families of the kids, helping them in their times of need. They actually give back 98% of their proceeds, which I just learned recently. In Michigan law, you only have to give back 30% of your proceeds. So they're really doing the max. And Rock Solid also donates a percentage of all of our proceeds to the foundation. License and insurance. We are fully licensed and insured. We hold a Michigan max of $2 million per occurrence. So if we're up there on your roof shooting nails and a couple nails fall into the ground and your neighbor walks by, steps on one, your homeowners will never be attacked. Certifications. Through Owens Corning, we are certified for all their products, installing their products, as well as ventilation. Platinum preferred contractor. We do hold a 5-star review with Owens Corning themselves. In being a platinum preferred contractor, we're able to offer things that other companies might not necessarily be able to offer, which would be our lifetime guarantee. We can give a guarantee on all parts, labor, and materials. 1 year money back guarantee if you can find apples to apples comparison of our company. We'll cut the check and beat it by 100 every time. Along with that, we do offer free yearly inspections. Michigan winters are rocky, so if you come springtime, you're wondering how your roof's holding up, give us a call. We'll send someone out to give it a look just to make sure everything's up to par for you. Yeah, I need to watch that. Yeah, that just fucked me up.
Home Remodeling Magazine, I'm writing that down. The remodel magazine.
I just don't know how to make it like effective, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, cool, I was looking through this Cena magazine. I don't really know how to word it to make it feel effective.
Why'd you stop?
Cause I got froze up. And then
Keep going.
I was
Flip the page
trying,
and keep moving.
I've already completely lost my screen.
What's gonna happen? You're just gonna put your iPad down and walk out of the house?
No,
Alright, well. Figure it out, move on.
attic ventilation. Signs that your roof is starting to fail. Some things you can look for is ceiling spots, damaged flashing, missing shingles, shingles buckling or curling, algae growth, blistering, rotting and missing granules on your shingles. These are all signs that you do have a roof issue or have had a roof issue coming for a long time. Attic ventilation is one of the, if not the most important part of your roofing system. I'm so froze up.
Bathroom.
I know. I thought this one up.
Alright, go on to Microsoft Teams. Did you find that video?
I wanted to.
Let's go find it right now.
You said the 8th, right, Dave?
Yep.
Pull it up to make sure that's the one.
So when I click on the 8th, if I just press it from the top, is that gonna go through all of it? 'Cause it's,
So I just resent you an invite to Sharp Spring. I just sent you an email to Sharp Spring.
What's that?
That's the marketing automation stuff. I just reactivated it.
There you go.
I sent them out, so their workflows are all activated now.
oh no.
Did you get into the
file quality check? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I haven't done
Right
it.
here, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 for the 8th.
I probably
Are
don't.
we gonna start posting on it? I mean, we'll try to get some traffic.
Because the first one says 4.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
I think that's automated, so that's probably gonna be the first time we stopped it and started
All of
it.
our followers. and we
no,
wanna
it couldn't be,
invite
because
them
look at this
also.
one says February 4:56 PM, so that's like when he ended it for the day, because we're getting out of here about 5
Which that's what
o'clock
I'm saying, I'm
usually.
thinking that
So,
time you're
this one
seeing
down
there
here.
is probably when it ended.
They won't allow it because we don't own Raphael Exteriors. The old owners from the old company owns Raphael.
So I can't, as a personal person, I can't invite you to like whoever I want and all.
No, I can invite people to like that page, I just can't do anything management wise.
Okay.
I can't download CRM lists, I can't.
I'm not getting the volume from
anymore, I can't do shit from these.
Some of them are weird.
Oh, there we go.
Well, yeah, we didn't realize it was that hijacked until, I think the old owner's way.
Oh, we don't even know who it is.
I think more than likely it's the old owner's way. Partner's way, whatever. So like,
Okay.
Yeah, I think this one's it.